Welcome back to the Stoop football fans. It's your boy Lolo, and I'm here on another Friday evening. So glad to be here with you guys. Oh, I got some of my stands in the background. Let me fix that up. Good to see everybody. We got through our first week of post Premier League football. How does it feel? Let me know in the comments right now. How did your team do? Are you happy with your club's performance? Are you upset? Do we have any Burnley fans out there? We have any Newcastle fans? We got any Leeds United fans in there? What about them Tottenham fans? I know they don't exist until they finish the season above Arsenal, and then they're out and about. But us Arsenal fans, we finished 5th. How do we feel about that? Man City, you guys won the league again. You almost didn't for a minute there. Had to come back from 2-0 down. Liverpool, you had it in your hands. Salah scores. He thinks he's done it all. And nope, not quite so much. I love that photo of a fan as Salah is celebrating and everyone's celebrating. And there's that one fan going, 3-2, 3-2. No, we didn't do it. And you see Salah's face just drop. It was beautiful. But first of all, let's say what's up to the Stoop crew. I know Anders was first because when I started the stream up, he was the first person to say what's up. So good to see you, Anders. Jonathan Kravitz gets in here. I watched the last game of the season on BBC Final Score with the sound down. They show all the goal apart from the Leeds-Brentford games. They even show Burnley's late chance. Ooh, what a little dig they do to you guys. Ben Ireland, good to see you. Hey, Bandy, we spent some money. I guess they spent some money. I guess we're going to talk about that a little bit. And then there's Bandy. Yes, Ben, whatever. Next. Ooh, Bandy's a little saucy right now. I'll tell you what. He should be a little bit happier. His team survived, and they did spend the money. Mr. Tom, good to see you as well. We got little Naji Samir on here. Good to see you, little man. Martin Ackroyd, what's going on? He says, hey, guys, from Blackpool, MOT, what's going on? There's Anders. Saul, good to see you. Morning all, hungover AF. And yes, he is hungover because he's in Australia, and he's already had his Friday night out. So, Saul, tell us the future. How does Friday night go? Are Leeds United still up? Mark Wind, good to see you. What's that little Raiders-looking logo? Oh, he has Snake Plissken on his badge there. We got to change that badge over to a On the Stoop badge, but we'll take a little Raiders snake. Via Martin, good to see you. One of the only Stoop crew members from afar who has actually made it to the Stoop to have a beer with me and Mark and watch an Arsenal match. I guess he watched the Leeds match too at the same time, but we won't get into that. Big up, Dave. Good to see you, my man. Ben, Arizona, 55 minutes until beer time. Well, good to see you. It is not 55 minutes to beer for me. I'm doing a hard kombucha today before all the comments start about Lolo drinking soda water again. No, I'm just sticking with the 0 carbs, 0 sugar. Not a plug because they don't pay me yet, so I won't tell you the name. But here we go. I've been waiting. I can't even. Oh, that's that sound we love to hear. John, how you doing?
Better now.
Woohoo! Cheers, cheers. Happy Friday, everybody. We made it to another weekend. And guess what? We don't have to worry about Burnley staying up in the Premier League for another year. Where every season I feel like they don't deserve to be there. And then finally it happened. I was like, please do not make it happen that they stay up yet another year at the detriment of a club that I actually enjoy interacting with. People got a lot of smack to talk about Leeds United, and they talk about their fans, and they talk about, oh, they're dirty Leeds, oh, the fans are terrible. I got to say, I haven't met many of those fans. So the Leeds United fans that I've met have been all supportive, even the ones that say, yo, Lolo, I hate watched your episode on Leeds United. I hate watched it. I watched it and I had my fingers on the keyboard ready to comment and talk shit and say, get my club out your goddamn mouth. And then they go, you know what? These guys are actually trying to learn about our club. These guys are admitting they don't know anything about our club. And now here we are a year or so later not to mention James. But here we are a year or so after that, and I got to say, me and Mark know as much about Leeds United as many other fans that I've met. I know a lot of Leeds United fans that I see on the streets here that say, "Oh, you're the guy that does that show. Yeah, I support Leeds United." And I'll start talking to them about something, and they're like, "Oh, I don't watch it that much." Aren't you an Arsenal fan? Yes, I am, but I'm a football fan first and foremost. Well, maybe not first and foremost, but yes, I do love the football. I love the interaction, and it's a big part of why these Friday nights are what our show is all about. It's about interacting with other football fans. So good to see y'all. And Mark Wynn says, "Cheers, snake, snake, snake." And I'm not referring to Gary Monk. All right, man. Good to see you. Saul says, "I spent an evening with an 8-year-old from Scotland." Well, that's weird, but I guess. And Mr. Tom says,
we should delete that.
Yeah. Mr. Tom says an 8-year-old from Scotland, they tend to be experienced drinkers by then. Okay. Mark Wynn, thank you very much for your appreciation of our Leeds United content. But listen, we talk football, and we always say if there were a shit ton of Newcastle fans, we might talk about Newcastle more. If there were a shit ton of Burnley fans, we might be the slightest bit sad. But fuck them. They've always fucked Arsenal every time they play them. They're the only team in the league. They have like the fewest red cards, the fewest yellow cards, and they're the most aggressive, especially under the Sean Dyche reign. The most aggressive, the most, I don't understand. If Xhaka was on their team, he'd be red carded every day, or I guess he wouldn't ever be red carded. Anyway, it's Friday night. I've already ranted for about 6 minutes about nothing. So, there you go, Saul. He's clearing it all up. Her name was Lagavulin from Islay. I get you. Okay, an 8-year-old Scotch. I get it. Okay, you were creeping us out more than usual, Saul, early on in the show there. But there you go. So let's kick the doors open. I know we got at least one fella here who's ready to talk, and he actually may even have a smile on his face because he spent a week not concerned with Leeds United going down. So let's get him on here, Mr. Ben Ireland, everybody. What's going on?
Hey up, Lolo. Hey up, everyone. I'm good. I'm relaxed. I didn't know you knew LL Cool J and John Bon Jovi.
The people who don't know shit about Leeds United and who are Leeds fans? Yeah, I do.
Yeah, quite impressed.
I do. I broke into LL Cool J's house one day and he broke both of my legs. Have you heard that story, by the way?
No.
So somebody broke into LL Cool J's mansion. Why you would do that, I don't know. Why the guy who has a song called Mama Says Knock You Out, and who can actually knock you out. LL Cool J beat the shit out of him, broke his arms and legs, I think, and the robber sued him. And they went to court, and he was like, "No, it didn't stick." But
he's definitely a Leeds fan, then. Definitely, yeah.
Fantastic. Graham Wood, good to see you. Buenos noches, Spanish Whites.
Two questions for you, Lolo.
We'll be out in Spain in a couple months, man.
I have two questions. First question is, I want to know the brand of your beer, seeing as you won't tell us.
Well, are they sponsoring us? Did you find us? Did you call them?
Bishop's Finger didn't sponsor us last week, did it? You know.
I am actually drinking this brand called Flying Embers, and I really do like it. It's a hard kombucha, but you see that right there? It's 6.9%, but it's zero sugar, zero carbs, and it actually has some live culture.
Has it got orange in it? It says on the lid, the rim.
This one, the flavor is like orange passion mimosa with a hint. Cool. It's got too much going on with it, to be honest. But it doesn't have any carbs or sugar, which I'm trying to steer away from for now.
My second question to you is, when did you become a PG channel? Because you said AF instead of...
Oh, you know what? My daughter can read now.
All right.
So I've been a little bit more around the house. I was reading some stuff out loud with John earlier when we were doing pre-production. Yes, our show has a little bit of pre-production in it. All you other YouTube channels, get your shit together. There you go.
We do?
We have 3 minutes.
John does pre-production. Let me get that correct. I make the trivia. No, that's pre-show. We had a 3-minute pre-show, but pre-production happens before we make dinner and I
You're
run out
getting
for
worse,
beers and stuff.
Lolo. You're getting worse, mate. It was 11
Hey, I
minutes
was
last
early
week.
today. I was
No,
early today. I was like at 10 minutes I was here. Mr. Tom says LL Cool J was protecting his Leeds shirt in a fancy box. No, that was well before they sent him that. So I think they were like, hey, we heard you beat the shit out of a robber. You should be a Leeds fan. And so they sent him the Leeds kit.
yeah, he sent the netflights.com one back.
But what I'm wondering is, LL Cool J has not written a song about Leeds. He has not written a poem about Leeds. I've written 2, and I translated one into Spanish. And you know what? Yes, I do have a Leeds kit that was sent to me by Leeds fans, but it wasn't sent in a box by Leeds United. I've seen those boxes. And I've seen them send them out to other YouTube channels. Fuck them. Yeah, no. I'm not a Leeds United corporate office fan. I'm a Leeds United fan. I'm a fan of you guys.
Yeah, go on, give us it.
So,
Leeds.
I put the shirt on last week and I sang Marching On Together, all right? But fuck, man. Yeah, here we go. Now the F-bombs start rolling. There you go. Polite golf clap. There you go. Let's hear it for pre-production. Yo, hey, and let's be honest. Y'all watch other YouTube channels, right? And you know the guy's always like, oh, let's get to some comments, and they start putting up comments, whatever. No, we have you guys make the good comments. John will sift through them and he'll find them. And if you're like, my comment never gets popped up, well, your comments are shit.
This is the only YouTube channel I don't turn off when I'm bored.
Because you know it'll get there. You know it'll get there eventually.
Yeah, even if I'm not in the mood or for watching out, I'll still watch it. You know.
Yeah, but you won't turn it off because you're usually on it.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
I gotta say, no. Before Ben was ever
ranting on his way home, just trying to look cool in New York.
Oh man, Via Martin says, if you want, I'll get you some shorts and socks to complete the FKW. To be a full kit wanker. And I gotta say that term, by the way, is starting to get some traction over here in Brooklyn, where now all these football fans who I talk to, they love that term of full kit wanker. So we'll see. We're like,
just to say, it was great to see Via Martin in Brooklyn with you. Yeah, it's good, man.
Yeah, man. It was cool. Yeah. And then you know what? You know what's so cool? Afterwards, he walked over with me and Mark, and we picked up some furniture and threw it on a dolly and walked it back over, because that's Brooklyn. That's what we do.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. I was like, you know what? The wife, she wants me to go pick up this massive coffee table. You guys mind coming with me? And we ran into Naji on the street. Yeah, but that's the Stoop, man. That's the Stoop. That's why I like being down here in the basement, but I really do miss being out on the Stoop all the time.
We've got a summer coming up of nothing, so we can fill it with nonsense.
Yeah,
if you get time, but I get you've got your family commitments and whatnot.
Yeah, it's cool, but yeah, we're gonna be doing another street festival, a block party. So we'll be out there doing a show from out there to show, like last year when Mark scored a goal on some kids, took his shirt off and ran around.
I can just vision it like the Will Ferrell sketch where he's playing against the kids and he's just pushing them all out the way, to score a goal. So yeah.
Yep, that's exactly how it is.
And then he graced us with his belly. Yeah, cheers, Mark.
Yeah. Hey, Lil Naji, the block party is on the 11th, June 11th, Saturday. Yes, sir, you can come, definitely, if your dad lets you. Come on over. I feel bad, guys, by the way. I got to admit something. And Lil Naji, I see you on here, so I want to tell you right now, I feel bad for yelling at you, Lil Naji. I did yell at him. I feel bad, and I also don't feel bad. I stand by what I did. I just feel bad because you are such a supporter of the show. But listen, here's the situation. We're sitting there watching the last Premier League day. All the matches on at the same time. You guys know, right? And so Naji and I are there with Lil Naji, and we got on the TV, we've got Leeds United, I think. And then on the laptop, we have the goal zone. So any goal that happens pops up. On my phone, I have Arsenal. On Naji's phone, he has Chelsea. We're watching. Oh, my God, they just scored. Oh, my God, they just scored. Oh, red card. Oh, da-da. And we're going back and forth and back and forth. And at the 70th minute, Lil Naji says, "Can you go get me?" Tells his dad, "Can you go get me a shake or like a smoothie or something from the store right here?" And Naji's like, "Yes, whatever you want, whatever you want. After the match, whatever you want." And Lil Naji, he's a little guy, but he had the balls to say, "No, now." I flipped. I lost it. I lost
you know
it.
why? Do you know why? Because when Leeds scored, he had to contain his excitement and clap.
He had to get rid of his dad.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he wanted to get rid of
So
his
I see
dad
what
so
you
he
were
could let
doing.
it
I
out.
see what
Yeah.
you were doing, Samir. But no, I turned around and I was like, "Sorry, Naji, but I need to handle this situation real quick." And I was like, I turned around and I was like, "Not a chance. Not a chance. This is the last 20 minutes of Premier League football. Are you out of your mind? No. After the match, we'll get you whatever you want, but no, Naji, you are not getting up. We're going to watch this. You get you whatever you want after the show." But I did feel a little bad afterwards because both Naji and Lil Naji's eyes were just like, because I didn't even give him a chance to respond. But you know, that's football as well, of like, "Sorry, I'm going to yell at your kid."
Yeah.
It's football. I would yell at my kid as well for telling me that shit. So thank you, Mr. Tom, for recognizing. Now, do you guys think I was in the right to do that?
Boo.
No, you think I was in the wrong. I shouldn't tell someone else's kid something?
I'm going to boo you anyway for being the pantomime villain, but no, you were right. There's a time.
Naji's the villain. Naji's the pantomime villain.
Oh, little Naji, fair play for some balls.
See, Ben, thank you, 100%. So bring your kids over. If you can't yell at them, I'll yell at them. No, everybody's always like, "Oh my God, your kids are so well behaved," and I was like, "Leave your kid over here for a minute. Just give me the okay to yell at them, because I don't put up with that shit. Homie, don't play that. I'm from the '90s, son."
Yeah, I'd have got
anyway. I'm just like, no, you don't. You sorry, no.
I know it's not.
And if it was my kid, unfortunately, I would have been like, "No," and now you don't get one afterwards.
Yeah, little Naji, you've got to count yourself lucky that you've been born in this era, because when we were
look
kids,
at Ben,
this
exactly. I'd have gotten a crack. Yeah. I'd have got a smack in the head for sure. Anyway, all right. Let's get to the show now that we're 17 minutes into the show. Ben, how about me and you? And other people who will be joining us later anytime they want. Please, Morton, I like that. Kids need to know their place. Bad enough they ruined all your fun for the next 20 years. Well, they only ruin your fun if you don't raise them up right when they're little. And then, like me and my brother were the Cabana boys for our family. Like, I knew how to open a twist top beer by the time I was like 5. Like, I was weak as shit, my whole body, but my left hand could crack open a beer. Or my grandpa would just say, with the cigarette in his mouth, tell me to come over. He'd stick his arm out. I'd shove the beer there and twist it. And then he'd go, "Good kid," and throw his cigarette. And he goes, "Get a plastic bag. For every bag full of cigarette butts you pick up, you get a quarter to take down the street." And it's not even like a quarter got you anything. Yeah. I'm not that old. But we filled up those bags of cigarette butts.
Man, it's what you do, isn't it? It's what I think. I think Tom wants some action.
Is Tom here? No, Tom's not here. It's Tom time. Get in here. But yeah, I remember even my parents had a Christmas party, and they were like, "This is the first Christmas party that you guys are allowed to come to." My brother was 16. I was like 13 or 14. So my brother had a car. My brother and I they got us like tuxedo tails to look like we work at the Hard Rock or something. Me and my brother went and picked everybody up from their house, and then my brother took everybody home so they could all get shit-faced. And that was what we did. My parents did with their kids. We made some money.
Sorry, as well.
We made some money.
I'm gonna get enjoyment because my dad watches this. When I was a kid, I had two cousins came round, and my mum and dad went out, and I knew where my dad's mucky videos were. So I went upstairs, got it. We were watching it with my cousins, and then they came back. And in a panic, all I did was change the channel over. So I'd not actually stopped the VCR. So anyway, my mum and dad sit down. My dad turned over the telly. Boom, porn on. My two cousins had bolted by this time. Anyway, my cousins got home. My dad rang their dad, and he told them, and they got a pat on the back. I got grounded for a month, and I had to write 1,000 lines. I will not go in my dad's cupboard and take his things.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. That's awesome, man. Look at little Naji says, Naji shouts at me when I say I'm a Leeds fan. You do you, Naji, you do you. And you know what? Tim's kid down the block. Tim is our Spurs fan over here. His kid wears a different kit every day. He's one of these new modern football fans, these young kids, fantasy style football fans where they like players. So like he wears Salah's Roma jersey. He loved Aguero, so he wears Aguero's City kit. Now he's wearing like a David De Gea Man United kit, but he likes De Gea. He likes keepers.
No, you've got to draw the line somewhere. I mean, get the Spain kit if you like De Gea.
Listen, his dad's a Spurs fan. You can't. He's probably watching the
little
show.
Naji, do not ever wear a Man United shirt.
There you go, Naji. Listen, Lil Naji, we're even saying, wear your Chelsea kit all you want. I understand. Your dad's a hardcore Chelsea fan. I understand that. But do not ever come to my house or to my block wearing a Man United kit or a Tottenham kit. It won't fly.
Yeah, we won't. There's certain rules and regulations you've got to abide by, even as a child.
All right, well, we're almost time to get to the grading of all the Premier League clubs that we care about. So let's bring on our last guest, knocking down the door. Maybe not last guest, but our next guest, Mr. Tom. How you doing? Oh, you got sort of a gangbang going on in there in your cup there.
The nasty boys.
That's it.
Boys. Yes. And is it the manager was Jim Hart, or what? Oh no, there was only two.
Nasty boys.
Yeah, like there was three.
Sorry.
It must have been his arm.
And Graham Wood says, don't wear a Real Madrid kit on Saturday. But can you really root for Liverpool? That's the thing. Let's talk about this for a second with the Champions League final. Like, would you prefer a Premier League team to hold that, or do you go for the?
Look, I'm not usually about the English team, but I don't have any animosity towards Liverpool. So, I mean, I want Liverpool to win, but I can see Real Madrid doing it. They've beat adversity how many times in this competition this season? I don't think it's going to be.
Yeah, but that was in 2 legs.
I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park, to be honest. No, but if you look at it technically it's over 2 legs, but it was in the game where they saved it.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but the first game at Man City, they should have lost like 6-2.
Oh, yeah, they should have.
Modestly.
Yeah.
So they didn't, and that's what matters.
And this is what I keep telling Liverpool fans. I'm like, you should not lose this final. That being said, if you're not up 4-0 at the end of the first half, I would put money on Real. If you were only up 3-0, I would still put money up on Real Madrid in penalties. That's just what they do. They start slow. They let other teams kind of take control. But if you don't, you need to put them like a cigarette butt. You can't just throw it in the street. You got to then go and stamp it out because you don't know what wind is going to blow and light a fire somewhere. And Benzema is the best player on the planet this year. And I've been watching them in the Champions League. And it's not only his finishing, his setup play, it's him as a leader. He got them back in that Man City game to walk away only down 1 goal.
Liverpool.
He was the one telling all the guys. So Benzema to me.
Yeah, Liverpool beat Madrid in Paris in the 81 final, I think. Madrid have won it 13 times, and it's 6 or 7 for Liverpool. Is it 6 or I can't 6 off? But they're the next best.
I think Liverpool will do it. Like, my money's on Liverpool for sure. However, if they're walking into the 80th minute up a goal or 2 goals, I wouldn't put it past Real Madrid. Tom, you had something to say?
Yeah, it's nothing really, but also really important. I've got to be honest. Leeds survived. I don't care who wins tomorrow night. Couldn't give a flying fuck. We're still going to be in the Premier League next year. Do your fucking worst, Liverpool and Real Madrid. Who gives a shit? 5 out of 7 draw, where 17 here get injured. I'm not genuinely advocating for serious injury, but do whatever. We're still going to be lining up against someone in August. Not at Luton. Great. Don't care. Beautiful. Next.
Yeah. Personally, I don't like Real Madrid. I don't. I'm not a Madrid Barcelona. Who do you support? Personally, in the Messi Ronaldo debate, I've always been side Messi.
Me too.
That being said, I can't really. I don't really care for.
I went off.
Sorry,
I used to love Madrid, but I went off him when Ronaldo signed for him because he's scum to me, and that's it.
Yeah, to be honest, I can't really support. You know, my heart is in Galicia, so like, fuck Catalonia. Fuck
Celta Vigo, is it?
Celta Vigo. So you'll see me rocking the Celta Vigo kit. You guys, Leeds United copied the kit. That's why you're called the Whites, because you wanted to be more like Real Madrid. Which is very weird when you see it like James's organization down in New Orleans called the New Orleans Whites. And I'm like, I think that name was already taken 100 years ago. Like you can't be. It means something different here. So I think they're called something else. The Spanish Whites sounds nice. It reminds you of a wine, very classy. But the New Orleans Whites, you're like, some people aren't invited to those parties. That being said, I'm not really crazy about Real Madrid.
I was at that game.
Which one?
I was there.
Oh, since the Raul Gonzalez?
What is being rare? Yeah, when Raul handballed it against us. I was there in the Bernabeu. Sorry, don't be interrupt. That brought back memories of me being a drunk 16-year-old. It was great.
Yeah, and then there was the one in Valencia. There was the handball there as well, wasn't there? That was.
Yeah, you know what? You know what's very rough for. I know we give Lawler a bunch of shit. My brother-in-law Lawler, he's a diehard Arsenal fan, hardcore Arsenal. However, he's from Ireland. He's from Dublin, so he had this weird hatred love for Thierry Henry because his handball kept Ireland out of the World Cup. When was that? Like 2002 or
2009
something.
That happened.
2009. Jesus, sorry. Yeah. So imagine that, like your current favorite player on your club illegally keeps your country out of the World Cup. Like, that's. I mean, I'm gonna be in. Hopefully, there's no cheating or illegalities involved, but. The day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday for us, is already being slated as possibly the most watched football soccer match globally, even higher than some of the World Cup finals, because it's England, USA, kickoff, World Cup. The majority of America is off, sitting at home.
If it carries on at Leeds, it could be England versus Leeds.
yeah, absolutely. You know, if you guys continue to keep taking all of our players, once you get Captain America over there, because you guys just signed Lil Captain.
Brendan Aronson.
Aronson, yeah.
There's rumour we're looking at another one as well. I can't remember. He plays for Salzburg, Leipzig. Is it the other one he plays for, the other guy? American.
I thought there was some Serginho Dest too. But
is that him? I don't know.
No, he plays for Barcelona. Barcelona? Yeah.
I mean, I like the rumours because the Premier League rumours, and it's not. We're looking at fucking Norgard from, I don't know, someone from
Tyler Adams for the New York Red Bulls. Yeah, Tyler Adams. Listen, when we get to that, the U.S. has some decent players, but like we're still we're still so far away from being a well-oiled machine. And especially, like, imagine if all of your best players played in a different continent, a different country, like other side of the world, and then they come over. Like every time Pulisic and McKinney and even Aronson, all those guys, even the Fulham kid, they all come back and they're playing on a different level than the rest of the team, even though there's some really good players there. But you can just tell where, at least for England, you've got Declan Rice and Calvin Phillips, who, yes, their teams they were in different stratospheres, but like they're still in the same ballpark there. And your bench is probably as good. The guys who didn't make your squad are probably as good as some of our best players on the US. That being said, I'm just saying that first match, it's on Black Friday. Yes, we go shopping, but there is going to be a lot of people watching this.
We've never beat
us.
America. We've never beat America in a competitive match.
Be careful calling us America. A lot of South America don't like us being called America.
Starting in 1776.
Yeah, the one that mattered.
It says 14% England over there. I'd actually like to know how much percent American you are.
100% American.
0, baby.
Yeah,
100% American.
Mr. Scandinavian, French, American, Englishman.
No, I got my I'm a card carrying member of the NRA. Don't get much more American than that, brother.
That's not a good thing right now, is it?
No, and I'm not.
It's a
but
bit controversial.
Yeah, very.
Bit controversial.
Yeah. We shouldn't get into that at all, because now that for the 5th time I've mentioned the time, we are half an hour into the show. So, guys, let's go ahead and start it. We're going to grade some of these teams, and we'll start from the top. We'll start with Manchester City. So let's look at their entire season as a whole, and then looking at it with, about 5 days retrospect on this. How would you guys rank or rate in the A, B, C, D, and D is barely passing, and F is a fail. So how would you guys rate Manchester City's season? They won the league.
B plus.
Yeah.
I think I have to go into the B area, because so many other teams were not playing well for a while. City could have owned the league and only focused on the Champions League, but by the time they were in the Champions League semis, they were fighting a war on 2 fronts, but they should have still been in on another front there. So I'm right there. I think I'm straight up B, not B plus, B. And it sucks you win the league and you get a B, but I think Pep knows it, and he knows that he was very, very close to getting nothing.
Yeah.
2-0 to Villa.
Yeah, he was.
No. They were never in second place on the final day at any point.
No.
Even at 2-0 down, they were still top.
You got a feeling that when he was celebrating at the end, it was more relief than anything.
Oh, of course it was.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
I'm not disputing that. Just more the fact that people have this narrative that the final day was topsy-turvy, but they were top the entire time.
Yeah, but the only reason it wasn't is because Liverpool were failing as well. So
yeah, everyone knew Liverpool were going to score, so that's why they needed to win, and that was the jeopardy. But they were still on top even when Liverpool eventually scored. So it's actually not as thrilling as they need to make it sound more thrilling, because it's their job to make the league sound exciting and things like that. But it actually wasn't. Plus, I wasn't watching it, so I don't know why I'm trying to attack it or defend it or whatever. I was too busy at the other end of the table. I don't care what you watch, but I was watching Leeds.
Yeah,
I think with them, well, like I told you, we had all the screens up. We were watching as much as we could. Saul says alternatively, City isn't. No, because last year it nearly blew my house up trying to stream that many matches. Alternatively, City is an F because they are sports washing front for a vile regime. F for fuck 'em. All right, I'll take that. Switch it up, John. Give him an F. Let's move down to the next club. There you go. F plus. I think our B's brought them up to an F plus. Please Morton says City scraped by Liverpool by a point for the second time. C for City. Liverpool have eclipsed them except the league. All right, let's get to Liverpool. How do you guys feel about Liverpool?
A, but if they win tomorrow, A plus.
No, A if they win tomorrow,
it's a
B
treble
plus if they don't.
It's a treble in my mind if they win tomorrow, and a point off the league, which at one point was looking very, very not likely. So for me, yeah, I think they're already at an A. If they win tomorrow, A plus.
Tom, what are you saying?
No, I think A if they win, B plus if they don't. I can't give them higher than the champions for a start because they didn't overturn the champions. And yeah, they've won the Mickey Mouse Cup.
I think you can go higher than the champions
They won
because
both,
those champions
they
didn't
won
win the
both
Mickey
cups
Mouse
on
Cup.
penalties as well.
Yeah, but
No, they won them on penalties,
they beat Man City.
Yeah, World Cups are won on penalties as well. And do you say, oh, they won the World Cup? They're World Cup winners on penalties. I'm just saying,
Nah.
I can 100% rank Liverpool's season higher than City's if we're talking about grades on that, because City were expected to do well. They spent £100 million on Jack Grealish for no fucking reason, and Liverpool went out and spent nothing. And Klopp said, everyone was saying at the beginning of the season, they were saying, I would say Liverpool's going to do well. Except they didn't reinforce anything. One injury to Salah and they're done. One injury to Van Dijk and they're done. They were so close to being done because their squad is so small. But Klopp said, we have what we need in-house. And I got to say, all they got was Luis Diaz mid-season.
Is this being done as in sliding scale with their success, or is success relative? Like, are Brentford getting a high grade because they survived and were Brentford?
No.
Or do they get a C because they didn't win?
Look,
no.
You grade it how you perceived you grade it. I don't expect you to change your grade because I don't agree with your grade. I just see it differently to you.
I'm still going with what I said. I just think.
I see where you're
Tom, to try and answer your question, it's not about, like, you can't say, oh, they finished 10th, like, oh, they finished 11th, so that's shitty, so they get a D. But Newcastle finished 11th when they started.
Right?
Yeah, so it's all relevant to the club. So for me, Liverpool, who started off not reinforcing their squad, I thought they should finish top 4 for sure. Had they reinforced their squad, I would have said they need to win the league. That being said, City were running away with it, and Liverpool made a game out of it. Meanwhile, winning cups and staying in cups, and the Champions League. And to the last day, to the last 15 minutes of the Premier League season, could have won the league. So, to me, this is a highly successful season. And look at it this way. Who's more likely to be sacked right now, Klopp or Pep? And you would have to say Pep. Had Pep lost the league, not that they're going to go out and find somebody better, because I do think he's one of the best managers on the planet, but Klopp's not going anywhere unless he wants to. So, and right there, via Martin, Klopp will win manager of the season for the Premier League, finishing second. He may be a cunt, but I'm saying he's done fucking wonders at Liverpool. Let's not forget, what was it?
That's
when he showed up 5 years ago?
Isn't it? That is a massive Liverpool bias.
When he showed up 5-6 years ago, Liverpool were not vying to win the Champions League, to win the league they were not.
Can we get on to Chelsea?
That's like the league. That's like the league saying, well, you didn't win the trophy, but here's something else we can give you instead. Because
who should win it?
Thomas Frank should win it. I don't
Why?
like Brentford, and Thomas Frank should win that
Why?
because they were supposed to not do well, and they did relatively well.
So then why didn't Bielsa win it last season? Why didn't Bielsa win it last season?
Some would argue that maybe he should have. That's not for me to say, but maybe he should have. But also because David Moyes punched well above his weight at the time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And a lot of people said it should have been him. But Liverpool have got to have their flowers, as we say in the rap community.
Bias, yeah.
Nah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Yes, there's clearly biases, and I do know there's biases.
Did you
What's
say,
up,
as we say in the rap community?
Of course I did.
What came after that?
Just
As
slip
we say in
things
the rap community, what? No, I
Sam,
missed it.
We give Klopp his flowers, isn't it?
Oh, jeez. Okay, Mo Master, glad to see you on here. You missed all the love I was sending your way.
Comedy's layered, Lolo. You should just
I do not
pay attention to it.
Pay attention unless I'm talking, and then I pay less attention. Look at Mo Master being a cunt. Honestly, this is the first final. Madrid is not the favorite. I might see Madrid lose a Champions League final for the first time in my life. Oh my God. Find a dark corner and go fuck yourself.
I've seen them lose, I think. Yeah.
We love you, Mo Master. You haven't seen them lose a final, have you?
They've not lost the
you're a
final
lot
since
older
like
than Mo Master.
1981 or something.
Yeah.
I don't think they've lost since Liverpool beat them.
I was born in 78, so there you go.
So I guess to answer your sliding scale question, if City had lost the league, they would have had a C from me. Even finishing second place, where another team far below them would have done better. And as we're going to see, we'll get there. So let's go to third place. Third place, Chelsea. Let's talk Chelsea. Oh, what was our final? So I said A. Ben said A.
No, I said
It all
B,
depends on tomorrow night, though, doesn't it?
Oh, no, Liverpool, yeah, I said A, possibly A+, yeah.
Well, I'm going to take it from today. They're in
today,
the final.
A.
They've got 2 cups. They finished
A.
second, 1 point. So a B+.
And they're in
B+.
another final, yeah. So, yeah.
John did the math, and it comes out to a B+. All right. Via Martin agrees with you, Tom. Frank with little budget promoted team expected to go down.
People with common sense will agree with me.
Hold on, Robbie. We'll get to Chelsea.
Robbie's excited. He wants that D for Chelsea. And Saul, too. C. All right.
Generous.
All right, so let's talk Chelsea. What do you guys think?
F, and F. Triple F. F, because they failed in the league. They spent so much money. They were running away with it at one point. F. F for losing the first final on penalties and making that horrendous substitution which backfired. And then F for playing Liverpool so many times and in the next final not learning how to beat them and losing again on penalties. So sorry, little Naji. F for Chelsea.
Wow. All right, Tom.
I was going to say D for dirty Russian money, but no, it's probably that. They're in this window where like they're too far above the pack below them, but they're not anywhere close to 2 above them.
But they should be close to.
They should be closer, but they're not, and the pack should be closer to them, but they're not.
And overrated, which is what I've been saying all season, and I've been saying all season.
Oh my God, little Naji! I didn't think I'd be so offended by what you said at the 70th minute. With all the adversity,
there's 2 Leeds fans on this show, and you're whinging about adversity.
What adversity? Naji took the phone. Oh, thank you very much. That sounds more like a Naji thing. Thank you, Samir. Much love to you. Tell your dad to go F himself.
They had to travel to one of the games on a bus, didn't they, or something, instead of
For
first class.
all the adversity. All the adversity? Why? Because your owner's buddy decided to invade another country? Fuck
Because
you.
the adversity that your billionaire got took away from you for a few months. And
The
replaced by another
adversity,
one.
you went out and spent a shit ton of money on a bunch of players last season. Then you went out and spent a shit ton of money on Lukaku. And if you guys had the league wrapped up by the time Abramovich's buddy invaded another country and he had, I'm going to lose my money. Here we go. If you had the league wrapped up, then we can maybe say, okay, there was a little bit of we saw the huge decline. But no. Y'all were there are problems.
There was a huge decline for
Chelsea.
one reason only. The players didn't know whether they were getting paid for the rest of the season. So they thought, fuck it. And until that assurance was put in place, then they started playing again.
Yeah. So no. To me, I'm getting over there. And Rob, good to see you, Rob G. Hey, and if you're available, man, I'd love to get you on the show as well. So let me know if you want to be on the show, Rob. I'll send you the link. I know you got like 1 billion kids. So this may be not the best. You may be at like bath time going, shut up, Naji. But he says they finished third. That's a fucked up grading scale. Absolutely not. It's not about where they finish. I actually said I thought Chelsea would win the league because what they were missing. What they were missing was somebody to finish goals. They needed a proven finisher, and they went out and they got Lukaku. They have all the pieces.
They started winning when Naji disappeared off the show and stopped saying, "I can't see us conceding."
Yeah, that's what Rob also said. That go back to the tapes. I distinctly recall Naji saying he didn't say anyone would beat Chelsea. He didn't say anyone would beat Chelsea.
Do you remember when they won at Arsenal and everyone decided they were going to be invincible?
He's shouting at you, Samir.
You leave him alone.
It's me shouting at you. Yes, I am shouting at you. Tell your dad not to write dumb things. And I won't shout at his child. And tell Naji to be on the show.
At a time, they're not dumb.
Yeah, come and stand up for your club, Naji.
Guys, when I get really loud, is it like over modulate? Am I like clipping or it sounds okay?
No, it adds to the effect.
It is a bit louder when you're shouting at a 10-year-old.
No, I think he was ranting at Naji there.
Look at that. Naji shouting at you. All right, everybody. So on 3, we're going to yell at Naji, okay? 1, 2, 3. Naji, do not yell at Samir. He knows more about football than you.
Definitely.
That's not shouting, guys. Shout at Naji. Come on.
Naji, do not yell at Samir. He knows a lot more about football than you.
Yeah, what they said. Sorry, what they said. Yeah.
So, with all that being said about Chelsea, look, I feel like they should have been competing for the league to the final day. And I don't want to hear from Naji about, we lost Chilwell. We lost Reece James. You have enough money and enough talent that you have backups for every single position. Okay? So there's no excuse. The fact that there is something so broken about your club that one of the best strikers in the world in Romelu Lukaku, or as Mark would say, Lukaku, the fact that he's there for a month before he starts talking shit about the club publicly, that means something is broken at your club.
Do you know what the problem is?
That was well before Abramovich's fucking issues.
Right, before Chelsea, when he first came along, they could buy the league. But the difference is now, you've got Klopp and Guardiola, and they've both got an ex-Chelsea player as their best players. So they can't throw money at the league anymore. Now you need the full package, if you get what I mean. And Chelsea ain't got the full package. And that's why they're a million miles off.
How do they not have the full package, though? Every single one of their positions is backed by another solid player.
Because they've not got the chemistry, right? They change the manager every 3 minutes.
Chemistry.
Yeah,
that was it. No, it's the manager.
That's the thing.
Because the manager knows. Sorry to interrupt, Ben, but the manager knows when he gets
apologizing
employed by
now
Chelsea,
for interrupting.
I'm always polite. It's all right. Got to be. Anyway, manager comes in. He knows at worst he's going to get a payday in 18 months' time when they sack him. Whereas at Liverpool and Man City,
They want success.
as long as you meet certain standards, which is basically, do you actually look like you had a chance of winning the league? You retain your job, basically, and that's why they've been there for 6 years, 5 years, whatever it is. But then with that, you get the continuity of that person's more important than the player.
Exactly, Tom. And that's what I was saying about Klopp at Liverpool. You look at Klopp at Liverpool, his first season, he didn't kill it, but he said, give me a bit, give me a second.
Pep finished third in his first season.
Speaking of Liverpool,
maybe you'll get this at Chelsea now. Maybe you'll get it at Chelsea with the new owner.
Yo, Chris, how are you, my man?
Good, man.
Evening, Chris.
Good evening, guys. Wait, first let me talk about... I said you guys were going to get 4 points from your last 2 games. You guys we're getting fucking relegated, man. I said you're going to get something off of Brighton. You're going to
I have more tears than that, Chris. Do it accurately.
Huh?
I was crying more than that.
I'm so glad you guys stayed up.
I was only riding your balls on Twitter earlier as well.
I know.
I bet you're not. I bet you're not as glad as I am that we stayed up.
Yeah,
Anyway.
Ben thinks Ole's a better manager than Klopp, apparently.
Yeah, man. Ole was great at United, don't lie. It was nearly almost as good as having Klopp, was it not?
Honestly, Ole finishing second place last year, he should probably retroactively be rewarded. Manager.
I actually do think they would have finished better under Ole than do that pathetic change of Ragnick. And yeah.
Bro.
I do.
Wow. Sorry guys, I wasn't listening. Chris, am I right about that, or am I remembering wrong? But when Klopp came, he wasn't immediately successful, was he?
No, I think he finished. Well, he came mid-season, right? I think we ended up finishing 5th or 6th, and we went into the Europa League. And I think he got us to the Europa League final, but I think we lost to Sevilla. We probably lost to Sevilla.
Sevilla,
was winning it.
Everyone loses to Sevilla in that match. It's fine. It's not a reflection on Liverpool, is it?
No. But I think the next year we got into the Champions League. The next year we finished 3rd. And I think
you won it, did you?
You won the league.
We went to the Champions League final and lost to Madrid.
Yeah.
Then we
won it.
Then we won the Champions League and finished 2nd. And then it's been constant improvement until last season when we lost all of our center backs. But even that was the one thing we developed some bench strength, even though we didn't do very well last year, that became key this year. He's a great man manager. Klopp is a better tactician. Pep is a better tactician. I think Klopp is a better man manager.
I think
absolutely.
Pep gets a respect though from his players.
Yeah.
But you can also tell that he's in charge. He doesn't put up with shit. He don't. That's why you don't. You get Grealish, don't you? He's had a few. He's raised his head above water a couple of times this season, and Pep's had none of it. Do you know? So he'll learn quickly in that team that it's not about you; it's about the team. And if you don't fit in the team, you're gone.
Mm-hmm. Can I give an example of what I feel about the top 3 with what you're talking about? Mason Mount, for example, and it's not a reflection of him, but it's just an example, that he will probably look at the next 5 Chelsea managers and be like, well, I'm going to be here longer than you. Who are you to tell me what to do? Whereas none of them are going to do that to Pep. Because all the directors that they will, same thing. All the directors that they will go to have a go about those 2 managers to get them done are bigger fans of Pep and Klopp than they probably are of the player.
Mm-hmm.
But at Chelsea, the players are the stars. And the manager is just the guy that we pay a lot of money to babysit them on training ground. Yeah. Basically.
That's why Chelsea will not be successful. I mean, I don't know how it'll be under the new owners, whether they adapt the right philosophy of give a manager a chance.
I mean, I could see if they keep Conte, Spurs going ahead of Chelsea next year.
Absolutely. We haven't quite got to Tottenham yet, and we'll get there next. But Chris, quickly, and for anybody in the crowd in the comment section right now, if you haven't, Give us right now. Give us your grade: A, B, C, D, F, plus, minus, whatever you want. Start off with City. We already did ours with City. I think City ended up with a B plus for us.
Yeah, on average,
Collectively, Liverpool ended with an A, A minus maybe, and
No, Liverpool with B plus.
Chelsea
No,
were
no,
down
no,
in the C's and
collectively.
D's.
Average.
Chelsea were down in the C's and D's. So, what would you do? Just give me your
Did my,
City,
did
Liverpool,
my
and
three
Chelsea.
Fs not overrule the Chelsea?
Well, I think that the F brought us. I was giving them like a C because they still did finish third. They were in 2 finals.
There are 2 finals
So-
that went to penalties.
Yeah.
I'd have to
They're
give
not
them-
really an F as much as
To
we don't
me-
like them.
It's
If
like
I had my way, they'd be ungraded as a U.
Mm.
Oh,
I mean,
no,
they
sure.
finished third without even doing well.
I'll give them an E for participation.
Yeah,
They'll
but
get a
I
participation.
feel
I'm
they
gonna give them a
finished
little bit
third.
better just because
I feel the only
Here you
reason
go.
they did finish third was because the
Look,
three below
thi-
them couldn't get their act together.
This is the trophy that they get. Everyone plays, so you get a
Yeah.
fucking trophy. There you
Yeah,
go.
that's cool, man.
So I just to backtrack, I'll give Man City a B plus, Liverpool an A minus. I give Chelsea a C plus because I think they played through a lot of noise.
The reason I give Chelsea
early
an
in
F
the
was
last 12
because
months.
they didn't win anything this season apart from they're doing that World Club bullshit thing.
Club World Cup.
Yeah, that which is
Yeah, the club world bullshit.
yeah,
I think that's what they should
absolute-
actually call it from now on.
yeah, Club World bullshit, right? And
So quickly, Chris, give us your top 3, so we can all be on the same page and move on to them dirty Spurs.
So I said what? B plus City, A minus Liverpool, C plus Chelsea.
That's exactly where I am. All right, let's get over to Spurs. Let's start off with our longest running Tottenham member. Despite all the shit I talked to him, he says Spurs B. Club didn't know what the fuck was happening last summer. Conte comes in and rights the ship. January went well. Somehow beat Man City twice. Let's not forget that. They beat them. They didn't draw with them. They beat them twice. Draw with Liverpool twice. Finish 4th while flipping off Arsenal. Absolutely every word of that.
well,
I agree with you.
Thank you to Rob
Nah.
G because up until that moment I had absolutely no clue what Spurs had done all season. So
I'm going to downgrade them a bit because they lost the game to Burnley. So
yeah,
that's
I'm going to give
worth
them
losing a grade.
a G for Rob G.
All right, they got a G. Do we have that in pre-production? Did we make that graphic, John? No. Fucking G.
I give them an A minus.
We're missing a C. So
There's no C?
there's no C in there.
There's only one thing C
gotta
stands
be
for
a C.
in this.
You only gave me A, B, D, and F.
I mean, I have them all.
I thought we had the CU and the T's covered anyway. So
There's a C.
In all seriousness, I give Spurs a B because I think they had a poor start. It took a little while and they luckily beat Leeds in his first game, and then they took a little while to get running. But when they got running, they did look good. So I'll give them a B.
I just realized they only finished 3 points off of Chelsea. I give them the A minus. I think if Kane doesn't have a slow start to the year, I think they definitely finished 3rd.
So here's where I'm a little it's tough because I hate Tottenham so much, but looking at it just from a football fan and football, I have to say that I kept saying with Arsenal finishing 4th and Spurs finishing 5th, it would be an overachievement for Arsenal and an underachievement for Tottenham. Because Tottenham were already more of a put together thing. You have some of the best, at least two really, really fucking good players who play very, very, very well together in Kane and Son. They have a world class keeper in Lloris. All around the pitch, they have all sorts of interesting characters on there. You have Højbjerg, who I think is anyone would take him on a team because he dies for your team, and he's shown it. But I think I'd have to say, as seeing how Chelsea crumbled, if I was a Tottenham fan, I'd be pissed that we didn't finish third. Happy that we finished fourth, but pissed that we didn't finish third because, and Rob put it exactly correct, it was this summer that fucked them. And it wasn't that they didn't buy a bunch of players. It wasn't that they didn't make a bunch of moves. It was because it was just a big fucking question mark. Big fucking question mark. And like Mark, speaking of question marks, Mark kept saying they're offering the job to so many people, but the last chick at the dance who's standing in the corner because no one else would dance with you is Nuno. You know,
I mean, it's funny to think.
And so they took Nuno, and he is not the right manager for them. So to me, they still underachieved, even though I think they should be very proud of finishing fourth and by beating Arsenal in a North London derby to do it. Because had they lost to us, clearly, seeing how the remainder of the matches went, we would. I
mean, the other thing is they were supposed to get Luis Diaz, and we took him off him like the last day. Luis Diaz changed our season. I don't think we're even as close as we were at the end of the year without him, or get by in those cups. And you know, if Spurs has that guy on their team, who knows? Who knows what they would have done? But
and to me, besides Luis Diaz,
Kulusevski
one of the Kulusevski has to be one of the signings of the season.
That's a good point because they probably don't get Kulusevski if they get Diaz. So maybe that works.
And they're different players. Kulusevski is a workhorse on that team. Diaz isn't. Diaz is a flash player who's very, very, very good. However, playing on Tottenham, you could see him get like, oh, shit. Okay, this isn't working again. When Kulusevski is in there doing the dirty work. I was pissed that they got Kulusevski. I didn't even know he was available. That's why I'm not signing players. But I've always liked him for, what country?
Sweden.
I don't know. He's one of those guys that I've always had an eye on of like, oh, I can say your name. And you know, and I remember your name, but Paratisi.
Don't worry, Allison won't have to make a save.
Allison won't have to make a save. Oh, there we go. It's okay. Tell Chris, Allison to be ready for Benzema and Vinny. Vinny fucking disappears for half a match anyway.
Allison will have more assists than either of them.
All right, so where are we going with Spurs, with Tottenham? What are we deciding? What did you guys all say?
Leeds stayed up.
Leeds stayed up.
All right.
I'm gonna change to a B+.
I'm gonna say B+ for them. B+. Would have been an A if they could take wait. Yeah, B-ish. There you go, Rob. We don't have that graphic for a B-ish.
Look at closet Spurs fan there. I'm going to give him an A.
Who?
You.
Me? Not a chance.
Yeah.
No. Closet Spurs fan.
God.
No,
Kulusevski is the greatest football player since sliced bread.
I said signing. Name me a better signing this season. Name me a better signing this season.
Than who?
Diaz.
Not for Spurs. He wouldn't have been for Spurs. And no, I wouldn't say. I would say Kulusevski has been more effective than Diaz. Diaz is still one of. Oh, that's a brilliant signing, by the way. Oh, and let's not get away from that. They got rid of some garbage that has been bringing their team down. I was pissed.
Do you know Leeds' signing of the season was? Chris Wood to Newcastle. Thank you.
So let's move on to Arsenal, and then we're going to take a little bit of a break and come back for the second half of the show.
This one is we just talked about the January transfer window, and I think the reason Arsenal didn't finish fourth is because they let go of way too much depth in January.
And we got nothing in return.
This should have been. We should be giving them an A right now.
No, but they made a smart move in January in getting rid of Aubameyang.
No, that's fine.
I agree with Vibor here. By the way, Bruno Gamage was brilliant as well, and we could have had him as well, but.
Yeah, I mean, those are the three, but I think those are the three best signings in January.
I joke about this a lot, but one of the actual key positional moves of the season wasn't actually a signing. It was saying, Joe Linton, you're not a striker, you're actually a midfielder. That was actually one of the key decisions in the season because they'd already wasted the 40 million. So they'd already paid it, but then they were like, you know what, this ain't actually working, so we're going to try something else. And you're suited to it. And you're basically like the Lionel Messi of central midfield in the Premier League all of a sudden. Incredible. Amazing.
If only the same could be said for Rodrigo.
Yeah, but he didn't.
He is in our leadership circle.
I mean, the thing is, he's probably one of the best box-to-box midfielders now in the league. He might be worth like 30 of that 40 at this point.
And he started playing with some excitement as well. He kind of looked like a dead player for a long time.
He reminds me of Firmino in a way. Like, maybe not the skill, but just like how tireless he is up and down through the middle.
Can I ask you to...
I like Saul's comment. Junior Firpo was a genius signing. Attracted all the negativity and kept the pressure off the other 10.
That's Tom's boy. That's
my boy. Don't stop picking on my boy.
Yeah, can I ask you two non-Leeds fans a question? What do you think to the 30 million that allegedly Barcelona have offered for Rafinha?
I wouldn't take that.
You just think that's
I think that's a steal for Barcelona.
Yeah.
It's a steal.
I love that.
It's an insult, really, is it not?
Yeah, I hope we laughed them out of the room.
Yeah, I'd like to know
whichever way they contacted us, I hope we laughed at them. Anyway, the reality is, if we'd have gone down, they would have looked like Mr. Burns being all evil, like, ha, you're going to take the 25 million, and there's nothing you could do about it. But now,
I also think if we'd have gone down, then you would have had a bidding war for him, so we wouldn't have had to pay the 25 million.
But there was a release clause.
Of the release clause. No, so the bidding war would have been him getting paid wages. We would have been offered 25 million by 20 teams.
You wouldn't have been offered. It would have been given. And you're done. You guys are out of the fucking conversation. He might have gotten an additional 20 million, but can we finish on Arsenal? Because I really need a pee break after talking shit about Arsenal. All this fucking Spurs jerking off.
I'll give Arsenal a B.
I don't know. I'm very confused.
If they'd have finished top 4 for me, it would have been an A. Because that was your objective.
I think it's C-. No, I'll give C- because I personally don't think they've done that.
No, I think it's a B. You got to give them an A for about 2/3 of the season, and then an F for how it ended.
Yeah,
they reminded me.
I think they did well, but they don't think they did well.
No, coming from last season, it's a success. You got into Europe.
They pulled a Leicester over the last 2 years.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying makes complete sense, but I sit on a show on Monday nights with Arsenal fans, 12:30 UK time, and basically they are not happy with what happened.
No, they're not. No,
they are not happy.
I watched them.
Everything you've said makes complete sense. I'm not disputing it. I think they did well. Relatively speaking, but they don't feel they did well because they had the chance to be fourth and they fucked it.
You finished exactly where, if someone told you in August you'd finish 5th, you wouldn't have been.
You'd take it.
You wouldn't have been happy, but you would have been content.
Yeah.
Because it would have been fair.
The alternative being where you were last season.
I just want to get to the next team.
I personally think. I'm a great fan of Arteta, to be honest. I don't think he's great. I think you could get a better manager. But are you happy with him, or do you want to take the unknown? It's one of them, isn't it?
Well, for
would
me,
I
it's
get?
like let's look at all of the factors that take this into that take the grading into play, of where we were last season, who we brought in, who we let go of, what we did in the January transfer window, and where we finished. We brought in nobody. I mean, not nobody. We got Ben White for a shit ton of cash. Eventually, we brought in Ramsdale for a shit ton of cash. Tomiyasu. Beyond that, we didn't do fuck all. And then in the winter, didn't do fuck all. Started the season for a month in dead last. So if we look at it from that point, we should get a fucking A+. We finished 5th. We were dead last for a month. But then the winter, we get rid of all of our potential backups, all of our depth is gone, and we bring nobody
It's not
in.
even that.
So
You get rid of all this depth, and you have 3 or 4 players on loan that I can't believe can't get into this team. Between
that's where do I trust Arteta's process,
Salva
or
and Guendouzi and
now these are all
Pereira,
people who have big attitudes that clash with Arteta. So that's why they are not there. That's why I think
why is
Torreira will be
Maitland-Niles
back before either
why
of
is
them,
Maitland-Niles sent on loan?
because he was being a little
He
bitch.
can play
That's
back.
why I don't think that
He was being a little bitch, though. He was being a little bitch.
He is. He's all about himself.
Absolutely.
And I don't think that's a safe person to be in charge of a team. You need somebody to pet Klopp. A bit of give. They're in charge, but put an arm around your shoulder.
I think, as I've said always with Arteta, he has been given a specific amount of time that we don't know about. We all think his job is up for grabs at any time. He could lose his job at any time. Arteta has been managing this club like somebody who knows they have 5 years. Because you don't do the shit that he does without knowing that. You don't give Emil Smith-Rowe the number 10 Arsenal kit when he hasn't even started double-digit matches. And then he comes in and this season, and we sign Odegaard
Yeah, but right,
to take his spot, who should have the number 10 kit. But then you don't go and get rid of all of our backup players, all of our squad players,
right,
and not replenish unless you know you will 100% be here next season, because the bad that goes with that.
Let's say January, Ken, this year, and you were still in the bottom 3. Do you think his 5 years is guaranteed still? I don't. I think he's out the door.
I think it's a weird fucking thing with Arsenal where we have owners who have no clue about football.
Well, yeah, that's clear. Yeah.
And they trust him. They trust him, and they want us to trust him as well.
Here's a question, even though.
But here we are. Just to end this, and I'll stop talking. I'll stop talking after this.
He's not. I don't think he's going anywhere this season. But what would Calvin Phillips do for Arsenal? Like, I don't think you have that leadership.
Calvin Phillips or Declan Rice on Arsenal would flip our team around. Would because you're absolutely right. We don't have the leadership on the pitch. We look to Xhaka for that.
He would make Ben White great again. Is what he would do.
All I'm saying is now that the season's over, we can look what we accomplished with what we have, and now let's look at all the trash we've gotten rid of. We've gotten rid of people who are talking smack in the locker rooms, people that that's what I have to say about that. There you go. Calvin Phillips right there. I'm just saying, now we are in a different position than we were last season. I think we have a lot to build on. If we don't
next year.
I'm surprised that Klopp ain't run out of batteries.
last season I was like, I don't know if we spend a shit ton of money because I don't know who we are as a club. I don't know where we're fucking go. I don't know who we need. At this point, we need everybody. Now we're starting to see, okay, Saka and Martinelli and Emil Smith-Rowe and Odegaard, they're a good young front four that can make something happen. Eddie Nketiah, as much as I don't like him, it's...
Great.
He's maybe your best player in the last month.
No, he hasn't. No,
We love him.
absolutely not.
Did he score like
Absolutely
6 goals?
It doesn't matter.
month?
It does not matter. Odegaard has been the best player on the pitch for us.
Your best
Striker
Best-
over Lacazette, that's all we fucking have.
Yeah.
I've watched none
But
of
no,
Arsenal's games, and Eddie was the best player.
To
How
answer
dare you
Robbie right
talk
here,
Eddie like he's the only option we have.
No, Odegaard,
to-
Odegaard is your best player.
to answer Robbie right here, next season, I expect the same thing that I expect every season, which is to win the league.
Are you guys going to get Victor Osimhen or no?
No, we're gonna get Eddie Nketiah. We're gonna fucking re-sign Thierry Henry. No, we're not. I don't know what the fuck we're doing. I'm not even gonna look for a while. I'm gonna take off. These next happy hours are all gonna be about like
Movies and
90s
shit, yeah.
movies and fucking gun control
Ray
and shit
Liotta.
like that. Yeah. Oh, Ray Liotta, bless.
Really? Oh, yeah, man.
That was a bummer.
Anyway, so for Arsenal, I'm gonna say a B minus.
Yeah, big.
B minus. But exactly, Rob, how are we going to compete in Europe and the league without significant investment? Absolutely correct there. So I need to see a lot from my club. So anyway, guys, we're going to take a quick break. But before we do, we have a oh shit, John. I've been looking at all the other. I completely forgot about these amazing. Let's not forget, if you guys haven't heard, Leeds United survived. Leeds United survived, and 3 other teams went to hell. Do we have a graphic for that?
Yeah.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Can I just say, I was going to grade.
I love
Burnley.
Bielsa just sitting by the ring of fire.
I was gonna
watching
grade
him walk
Burnley
in.
Season as an A. Thank you, Burnley. You get an A for your season.
I think people are lucky they didn't fire Dyche earlier. I think that guy's a pretty good coach, that Michael Jackson.
I actually was going to give Burnley a G for gone.
All right, guys, we're gonna get to betting in the dark with Mr. Tom, but first we actually have a public service announcement for you guys. Are you all ready for this?
Certainly am.
A public service announcement from your friends at On the Stoop. Do you have an uncontrollable urge to scream out with joy? We're staying up! Do you respond to any question with, didn't spend the money? Then you might have Luft's-Tourette syndrome. And what is Luft's-Tourette syndrome? Luft's-Tourette syndrome is when your entire existence revolves around Leeds United to the point that you couldn't give 2 fucks about anything anyone else is talking about if it doesn't pertain to Leeds United, leading to these types of outbursts. Bielsa would have kept us up. Marching on together. If it's not Leeds, fuck 'em. Champions of Europe. Shoes off if you hate Man U. Ciao scum. Ciao scum. And the cure? There's nothing wrong with you. Just buy a mug. And these mugs can be found on onthestoopwithlolo.com. If it's not Leeds, fuck 'em. Show us that wonderful mug. And everybody applaud the PSA brought to you by the good people at onthestoopwithlolo.com.
That's the best PSA I've ever heard in my life. That was great.
I felt perfectly publicly serviced and announced.
Definitely. I'm going to vote for that party in the upcoming election.
Before the bathroom break, can we just give the scum their grade?
Director John.
Are we doing grades in the second half as well?
Yeah, we can. We're gonna do some more, and we're gonna get to Leeds United. So,
okay,
and then we'll do trivia towards the end if we get to it. But we're enjoying talking football.
Yeah, I want to talk about trivia.
Mr. Tom, go right ahead and get into betting in the dark. I'm gonna step away, but I'm still listening. Okay.
Mhm.
I've been chugging these.
Betting in the dark with Mr. Tom.
Come on, love, place your bets.
Greetings, everyone. I hope you're all well. Welcome to Betting in the Dark with Mr. Tom, featuring Cyril. May we have the first slide, please, Director John? Right, here we go. The main event of the weekend. Liverpool versus Real Madrid in the Champions League final. I've gone with Liverpool to win the game 2-1, with Salah scoring and Benzema scoring. Benzema, obviously, because he's Benzema, and Salah, because he wants revenge on that pesky Real Madrid. Ramos won't be there, but the shirt will be. Therefore, if this happens, you can turn one of your English pounds into 40 of them.
Good bet.
I refrain from commenting. Nothing good.
I understand. Were you taking the fifth like we did last week? Yeah.
I can fully understand that, Christopher. But I've also gone for a second one, which is basically the same, but with Liverpool to win on penalties. Because, let's face it, if God was to support a football team, it would be Liverpool. And that explains why they're so shit hot from the spot.
I like that one as well.
Turn £1 into nearly 70 of them. What do you
Please tell
think, Cyril?
me you stuck with the chess.
Can the next one be Forest versus Huddersfield?
Oh, it's funny you should say that. Director John, if you would please. Nottingham Forest to win the game 1-0. Why 1-0 specifically? Well, because 11 out of the previous 20 championship playoff finals have all finished 1-0.
I like this one.
Therefore,
I like the returns, but I don't know whether that's a good bet or not because I don't care
Joe
about.
Worrell is the most carded player out of both teams, and he usually takes his cards nice and early in the game.
I'll tell you what.
I researched this.
I don't want to see Huddersfield in the Premier League again. That's an automatic relegation. That team.
Yeah, but it's 6 points, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you got to look at it.
But Brennan, man, I like this Brennan Johnson
Forest
kid.
have got an history at Anfield. They've got a good record at Anfield.
Yeah. If Forest doesn't come up, someone's gonna go after that Brennan Johnson kid. He's good.
I think their team will be plucked.
Isn't he on loan from somewhere?
No, Spence is on loan, I think. The right back is on loan from Middlesbrough.
But anyway, this game is being played on Sunday.
That guy is an incredible fullback. I would take this. He scored in both legs.
I don't think it's unreasonable. I mean, he is probably one of the highest scoring players out of both teams as well.
Yeah,
this game is going to. Keep in mind, the playoff final is generally tight because teams don't want to make a mistake trying to win it. So generally, it's very cagey.
Who's a good player on?
Or you get stuffed like Leeds do, 3-0.
Huddersfield's best player is probably O'Brien.
Midfield. Yeah.
Huddersfield have only lost twice since November, though, so it's not a bad.
Huddersfield finished above Forest, if I remember rightly.
Yeah.
But
Huddersfield were the informed team, weren't they? Other than Fulham, obviously.
I think selfishly, I just want to see Forest in the Premier League because I've never.
Being from Yorkshire and not giving a toss shit about the dog botherers. I think Forest are a big club and they've been away long enough now. I think it'd be nice to see them back.
I want Huddersfield promoted, because I think if Forest get promoted, they'll ride the wave of momentum like we did. So it'd actually be a much harder team to avoid the drop from. Because they're like I said, they are going to be a bigger story coming up than we were when we come up.
Oh yeah, especially if the Giants win at Wembley as well, at Spurs Stadium, because I think Huddersfield Giants play Wigan in the Rugby League Challenge Cup, so could be a big day for Huddersfield.
It could. Oh no, I was talking about Forest. Forest to be the bigger story if they come up than us.
You think?
Former European champ. Well, they were out the Premier League longer, and they were former European champions. Like actual one that lifted the trophy. Like not what we say, but I mean,
but we should have been.
So they'll be harder to dispense. But they'll be harder to dispense with if they come up. But like Chris said, if Huddersfield come up, it'll be like Norwich.
You see, I'm all for that Leeds singing that, but when you're 3-0 down to Chelsea and you're singing it, and they are actually the European champions, it becomes a bit embarrassing. You know.
I believe the word you're looking for is cringe.
Yeah, cringy. Yeah.
Who do you think?
Hold on. You guys have mentioned Nottingham Forest several times, and you haven't called them the Scabs.
That's James's word. That's James's word for a man.
I know it's based on the historical thing with the picket line and all that, but
yeah.
I don't really have any. Apart from a couple of dodgy fixtures in the Championship with us, a little bit of rivalry, but nothing really concrete. I'm not bothered about Forest. So the Scabs.
I just want to see teams that haven't been in the Premier League in a while. I kind of let the last few years, 2 out of the 3 teams are always, just it's basically
the same draw.
Yeah. I was saying there's no proof that no one's ever seen Fulham and Norwich on the same pitch ever. Like one goes up, one goes down, one goes up, one goes down.
Yeah, I'd take that. I'd take that bet.
And as a special thank you to Director John for all the hard work he's put in over the coming season, we got a special bonus. Game 6 of the NHL playoffs.
That's a big bet you put there. £357.
I
know, it was the most it would let me do.
A Scab, somebody who crosses a picket line when you're on strike. I think it's something to do with that.
Yeah, it's back when all the Yorkshiremen...
Nottingham crossed the picket line in the miners' strike.
Yeah.
And then we hated everyone that played for that team ever since. I love the grudges.
And now you know the rest of the story.
Exist when the teams are 150 years old.
Yep.
In 1884... They made a
when
pass.
They crossed the picket line.
They made a pass at the owner's wife.
I'm actually a Red Wing more than a Ranger, but
that's what it's like in English.
I'd like them to do well for John.
Grudge is a grudge, and it don't get forgotten. It's like we call Hartlepool the monkey hangers because they hung a monkey. They actually tried and convicted and hung a monkey, so they're called the monkey hangers.
Who?
Hartlepool.
The monkey hangers.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good.
So
yeah. And Saul says the Nottinghamshire miners broke the miners' strike and gave Thatcher a lifeline. So there you go.
That would explain why James is so knowledgeable on the subject, because it is right smack bang in his timeline of being in England, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
He was probably a miner knowing James.
There's probably not much that man hasn't done.
What is it? What are Liverpool? The bin dippers?
Bin dippers, because they always go in the trash and pull players out. Pull players out of the trash.
I think it's a
shame they don't pull jobs out.
It's a shithole and no one's got a job, and that's the bin dippers. So they dip bins for grub and shit. Yeah.
Oh.
That's why they're called the bin dippers.
Oh, it's not a football thing.
It's not a football thing.
It's never a football.
They eat out of the trash.
No, it's never a football thing. It's just whatever you can get at. Yeah.
Anyway, Lil Naji talking some trash there. I appreciate that.
West Ham
all right, guys.
Motherfuckers. No.
Well, we are halfway into the show. If you guys do need to step out for a pee break, go right ahead. I already had mine. But Chris, we will continue on, and we'll go to the next team down the list to give the grades, and that is the Scum, capital S. We will go with Manchester United. How are we grading their season? They finished last season second place with Ollie, and then they do this. How would you grade them, Chris?
I don't think you can give them anything other than an F. 58 points. It's their lowest point total. They were second last year. They added Varane, Ronaldo, and Jadon Sancho. We all thought that they had I don't think anyone thought they had a realistic chance of winning, but we thought that they would compete. I mean, Can't be anything other than an F. And
I think we're all in agreement there, and everybody's saying Saul says F, Robbie says F, Vibor says United can't get anything else in F.
And their fans are shitty. Like, I realize we all have a laugh at Harry Maguire, but like when someone's like seriously is probably going through almost like a mental health kind of situation, because he's much better for England than he is for United. Like,
and Pogba as well.
Yeah, if Liverpool, I don't know, and maybe I haven't been a Liverpool fan for that long. If they did that to one of our own, fuck those people. Like that's their shitty fans. That's what they are. They deserve an F. I hope they.
There's shitty fans in every fan base, unfortunately.
Yeah.
No, when you look at a team like that, when you look at a team like that, like how, and I know it's weird to say what a terrible season they had and they finished sixth. They had a terrible season.
The funny thing is, I know I bring up expected goals all the time, and it's kind of that's a statistical probability thing. But basically, all the statistical modeling says that they probably should have finished between like 10th and 13th based on their goal difference and their results. They had a 0 goal difference. They gave up 57 goals, a goal and a half per game. Like, if it's not for Ronaldo,
that's impressive considering they played Leeds twice.
Yeah, if it's not for Ronaldo, they probably do finish 10th, 13th.
He scored 3 goals, actually. I think Harry Maguire doesn't help himself though, because I find it hard to sympathise with someone who, when he scores a goal against Albania, then starts doing the he starts giving it back, and it's like, you're playing Albania, mate.
They should have benched him just to take him out of the mix for a while, because
they couldn't score a goal without him.
I know. I guess what I'm saying is he's not, as much as we make fun of him, he's not as bad as we make fun of him. But when you're mentally fucked and you're still getting put in,
they're going to put him in because they paid 80 million for him.
I know, but still.
I know it's not the player's fault.
It's not his fault that they paid 80 million.
No, of course it's not. Like, of course it's not. But the reality of it is that they're going to play him because at any opportunity that they can, because they paid 80 million for him. Because playing someone who they didn't pay 80 million for would be then making them look stupid for paying it.
Mr. Tom,
they already look stupid for paying it, though.
Sorry, sir.
Don't say anything bad about Albania.
Oh, I didn't.
He didn't. He said something bad about Harry Maguire.
I'm just saying, don't say anything bad about Albania.
I've got nothing against Albania, but
because my buddy Chris will be here.
I know. Chris has ties to Albania.
John, when did John get back?
Last Thursday.
Yeah.
No, it just happened to be Albania that he scored against and did the thing. Where then everyone was like, "Why are you acting like you're shutting us up when you have been playing poorly?"
Yeah, was that the game that like Harry Kane scored 4.
That sounds right. Yeah. Like, it was like a routine win. Like, it's the sort of win you should get with the players England have. But then he's acting like he scored in the Manchester derby.
The truth is, Harry Maguire should probably still be at Leicester, and he probably would be a good center back at Leicester. That's his level, and that's not a bad thing. But anyway, their fans. Maybe every club has terrible fans. Their club has more terrible fans than most.
Well, yeah, they're the most supported club in the world, allegedly. I don't know if they actually are.
I'll go per capita on a percentage basis.
Ooh.
I think, as you said, it's more pronounced if you are poor in that team because of the social media presence of that team. Like, if Junior Firpo put in those performances for Man United, it would be 10 times worse for him.
It'd be Harry Maguire, yeah.
Yeah, basically.
What's up with your window? Oh, that's a permit because we're doing work on that side.
Looks like you have a lovely neighbourhood.
It's nice. A lot of old.
I thought
I've
Very
said-
quiet,
A lot of
very
old schools
quiet
that look like
neighborhood.
they're gonna fall on houses soon.
I've said this before, but it looks like the house from Home Alone is in the background.
Yeah.
Yep.
What vehicle
you know
do
what?
drive?
You know what, Ben? About 100
There's a
yards
wet
down the
bandit.
road from his place is a huge weed shop. So there you go.
I'm coming to stay with you when I come. Fuck the
Yes.
Stoop.
Well, now we have one right down the street anyway.
Oh,
so-
yeah,
It's
well,
got a
I'll-
3-minute
And I
it's got a
still
3-minute walk.
order from the illegal guys.
yeah, too right.
Are you watching, cops? Are the cops watching? Make sure you subscribe to the channel before you come
They're
arrest me.
still trying to work out where the dungeon is
Yeah.
from visual clues. We ain't going to get any Metropolitan Police. We ain't going to get any.
Lolo's box is gonna black out in a second. And all we're gonna hear is just
No,
like
the cops aren't interested. Haven't been interested in the Stoop since they started providing alibis for people. So.
No, the cops come by the Stoop and they're like, anybody fucking with you? And we're like, just that guy. Telling us not to barbecue.
I love this shit. Love it.
what was
all right,
that?
let's
Oh
go
my
to-
God, your neighbor who was like, what were we doing? We were barbecuing and the smoke is going in my window.
Yep.
Like
And I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah, it's summer.
it's summer and we're smoking ribs. I don't know what you want
Don't you
me to
feel
do.
dirty with that badge next to your forehead, Ben?
I'm
Yeah,
trying
let's
is
move
that
on to
it.
the next club.
I'm really trying to look at it.
The next club in European football is West Ham United. So let's go to West Ham. And guys, I gotta say, I feel like they fucking shit the bed.
They bottle it big time.
They bottled it as well. I'd have to do a
D.
C plus.
Nah.
D.
I think when they lost at home to Leeds, they started to lose their grip on the top four for certain. Then when they realised they could make an actual genuine run at Europe, they fucked the league off completely. And we're basically like, no, we're going to get in the Champions League by avoiding Barcelona in Europa League.
I mean, I think getting to the
And then they got nothing.
Europa League semifinal, I got to give them a B- just for getting that far. And
If they strengthen enough in the summer, they could probably make a run at the Conference League.
I think Liverpool's coming in for Jared Bowen.
I think he could fit in either side. I think he'd look good in City's side as well. I don't think Liverpool need him because they've got 5 similar players.
They'd only buy him, so Man City couldn't.
Yeah. But I think he'd fit. But then City don't need him either. So maybe
City would buy him, so Liverpool couldn't have him.
But then
This is how Chelsea got so good in 2005.
Well, yeah, I know that. Yeah, but who's left then? They're probably having Tottenham.
I mean, I hope
Tottenham or
he's.
United scum. Sorry, I think scum would ruin him.
I hope he stays a year where
Mm.
he's at because I do think eventually Salah will leave. But Salah just announced he's staying for the year.
We could have had him, but we wouldn't pay the money.
He was in the championship. He was a great goal scorer for Hull. Wouldn't pay the
Is he on
money.
your list, Bandy? Jared Bowen.
Wouldn't pay the money.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think
All right.
Leeds? Do you think? Sorry, not to jump too far ahead. Do you think Leeds spends a lot this summer?
I think
I think we have to.
I think
we have to
spend a lot,
spread it a
but
bit.
I think we'll recoup a bit back. I don't think Phillips is going anywhere. Personally,
No, I think Phillips will get a contract and Rafinha will go.
What do you think about?
And Barcelona will find the money.
What do you think about Ben Brereton Dias from Blackburn?
He's just signed a new contract with Blackburn, I believe.
yeah.
Not that that means anything, but
No, I think we're looking. We need to be looking better than that, to be honest.
I do think there's a lot to be said for Championship talent, though.
It would have been a good addition for us January, to give us a few goals this season. But long term, I might prove wrong. He could do really well somewhere else.
I don't think we should turn our nose up at the Championship too much because, that's where Bowen, the likes of Bowen and Ivan Toney and that come from.
There's some great players in Championship, and I think we might get one or two of them. But I just think.
Speaking of that, do you guys think Teemu Pukki could be better? Like, everybody talks about him being an incredible Championship player.
He's a good Premier League player. He scored double-digit goals both times.
Leah, so where do you
For
club
fucking Norwich?
What club do you think he could go and thrive with?
West Ham, maybe.
It's genuinely hard to say because he played for Celtic, and I can't remember if he pulled up trees there, but I imagine if he did, he would.
I think he could maybe West Ham, Everton, something like that. I think. But I think if you put him in a City or a Liverpool, he'd score loads of goals.
I think it was Eddie and
He does just finish. He just finishes. He's a finisher.
He'd be great in the middle, up front for Liverpool. With all the balls coming in the box. He'd score absolute hatful.
And Kea.
So Russ is asking you guys, Tom and Ben, who do you think the unnamed Premier League striker
without factually knowing anything, I think it's Eddie.
I think it's Nketiah, but if it was to be anyone else, I like the idea of it could be a Premier League player who's not played in the Premier League this season. Maybe Tammy Abraham or somebody, I think he can still do a job in the Premier League, Abraham.
Yeah, but he would probably set sights like a European team.
Yeah, maybe. But I like the idea of
That's
it. Could be somebody who's.
We're getting some Ivan Toney, some Patson Daka, some
like
Broja.
Broja. He's Albanian.
Is he? Who's the one who's on loan from Chelsea?
He's on loan from
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Is that Broja? Yeah.
Did Southampton buy Livramento, or did they loan him?
They loaned him in.
I don't know.
So they loaned two players from Chelsea.
I think they bought him. I think they bought Livramento.
They must have bought him and then loaned Broja.
I think
I don't
know.
You only
All
have
these
one
Chelsea
from a Premier League
loanees.
club, aren't you? One loanee from a Premier League club.
All these Chelsea loanees are an interesting
Mm.
situation as well, because think about it. They can loan these smaller clubs, those clubs' best players. So think about it. Every time Chelsea played Crystal Palace, Conor Gallagher couldn't play. And Conor Gallagher was pretty much their best player.
They got to change that rule.
So
But if you look at Livramento, Broja, Conor Gallagher, all these players who are very, very talented, and they mean so much.
It's a great way of getting Premiership experience for your players without risking them yourself.
But then when they play you, so just put it this way: Crystal Palace is on a tear, just doing very well, winning matches. But then they come up against Chelsea and they can't play Gallagher.
Yeah, but it's so the player isn't obligated to make decisions. Does he want to hurt his parent team and stay professional? Does he want to do something that will down the line create a situation?
They used to let them play, and there's a few times they've scored against the parent club. So and then all of a sudden they just
that's why they don't allow it.
Yeah,
I think it's silly, man. If you're
To me, you're on that club. You should be
There's
able
a
to play.
conflict. No, but there's a conflict of interest. There's literally a conflict of interest
There is
for the player.
But I think players at the top level, if they go in there and they look like they're dogging it, and you got to remember, Chelsea sells most of the players they loan. Most of them do not come back to the club. You go in there and you intentionally play poorly, you tarnish your reputation.
Exactly.
Like
Look, I'm a big adversary of you should have a 25-man squad and a 25-man under 23 squad, and that's it.
I can give you an example.
There's
of the
rules
state.
coming in that are going to reduce the amount of players.
Yeah, you'll only be allowed to loan 6 out and 6 in eventually.
Okay. So all
they're lowering it year by year.
This is a much bigger issue for the Italian clubs because Milan, Inter,
Atalanta have 63 players out on loan.
Yeah.
It was either 43 or 63. Can't remember, but
you had
more than Chelsea.
Half of like Girona is like loanees from City. Like this stuff's going to come to an end soon.
Chelsea have a player called Lewis Baker. They loaned him to Leeds at one point, but anyway, he made an appearance for Chelsea, and his second appearance for Chelsea was 8 years later because of all the loan clubs that he had been to.
Finally, just sold him, haven't they? I think they've just sold him.
It was the same. They had that Lucas Paethan from Brazil. He played like one game, and then was loaned to like 8 different clubs afterwards.
Like that's the kind of shit that shouldn't be allowed. Not worrying about players that are actually playing football not being able to play against their parent club. Like you'd be in a situation where Conor Gallagher's probably would be playing against Chelsea more times than he's actually played for Chelsea.
I do think he'll play for them this year, though.
He may have to if they can't buy anyone. Well, apparently they're going to have 200 million to spend or something. But Crystal Palace are going to be in trouble if they don't fill that gap.
I mean, if I'm him, I'd ask to be sold to Crystal Palace and be an everyday starter for 3 years.
Is Lolo still awake, or is he dreaming of the pot shop down the block?
Dream
of green dream. Wait, I'm high. No, I'm not yet. I'm just drunk now. These beers, like the no carb, all that.
Let's grade
Hey,
Leeds.
that's a good comment.
Oh no, let's wait for Ben to come back before we grade.
Nah, fuck him. If he's not Leeds, fuck him. Okay, so let's talk Leeds United. Mr. Tom, how would you grade your club season so far? Not so far, in total, I suppose.
I suppose I'd give it a really low grade, like a D or something, because.
But you stayed up.
Well, yeah, and that's why it's not an F.
On Leeds.
I think
it'd be an F if we went down an F,
I'd
but because we survived a D.
I'd say
because
D.
It didn't go well. Well, the reality is we were the worst team that stayed in the Premiership. So how can you go any higher?
The reason I don't give us an F is purely because of the injuries. It's been a failing on a whole for the club. The team were poor. I even think early on when we were full strength, we were poor. The failing to adapt the system and the way Bielsa went was heartbreaking, really. The board not spending the money. Yeah, it was an F season, but the fact that we survived and we had injuries.
The money they spent was misplaced.
Yeah.
Do you guys buy a 9 or do you give Joffy a chance?
I'd give Joffy a chance.
I think you have to do both.
Both.
I think it's been proven this season you can't rely on just having an 11-man team and hoping that no one gets hurt. That's a fantasy in football, which is obviously not going to happen. And you need a squad.
I still
Now,
think you guys should have.
Is a different challenge, but
I think you guys should have signed an alchemist to turn some lead into gold and buy Erling Haaland. Look, he's got ties to the club. Come on.
He's got ties to City, though, hasn't he? I mean, I think we'll get Haaland.
Everyone has ties to City because they have money. You're like, oh, I've got a lot of ties to them because I have ties to money.
His dad was captain.
I use money on food.
We sold his dad to City.
We sold his dad to City, and he became City's captain. So
shouldn't have done that.
No, I think if we're a Premier League team, when he comes to being 36, he'll come on.
His dad was quite underrated for Leeds, to be fair.
I do think you will see, as long as Leeds are a Premier League team, I do think one day you will see Erling Haaland play for Leeds. I think he'll make it. He's a Leeds fan. He'd love to play for Leeds. It's his dream to win.
Hold on. Let's say
is
Haaland
he a
is
fan
going
in
to
the way
Leeds.
LL Cool J is a Leeds fan?
No, he's a proper Leeds fan.
No. Okay, so Haaland is going to City, right?
Yeah.
But then, Chris, you just mentioned that what's his name from River Plate?
He was already signed.
Julian Alvarez.
Yeah,
he was
Alvarez,
signed in January and he was loaned back.
What the fuck? What the fuck do they need him for?
That's why me and Chris had a bit of a debate on
He's
Twitter.
probably going to play. They'll probably play Alvarez off on the wing because he can play on the wing as well. But
What do you do with all the rest of City's players? This is fucking
play this Alvarez.
He's going
to be the top scorer in the Premier League under-23 league, and that'll be it.
I think Sterling's gone. I think Mahrez probably only has one more year on that team because he's over.
Jesus is going to Arsenal for some reason.
So you just reload, and while
it don't bode well for Grealish, does it?
Well, I think Alvarez will be a good player. It doesn't always pan out. So,
Grealish is a fucking moron, by the way. Grealish, out of all the clubs he could have gone to, yes, you're looking for money. You only play for so long, blah, 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 blah.
He fucked up his chance to make the World Cup, in my mind.
Yeah, I'm not signing him to the team to play for the World Cup. You've done fuck all. Now, if he flies away and goes to Atletico Madrid, do Atletico Madrid actually put in a vie for La Liga? Maybe. If he goes to Barcelona, if he goes to fucking any, if he went to Arsenal, if he went to
the Scum.
I think
why the fuck would you go to a team that's full of players that play just like you? When to me they got
money.
They got rid of David Silva and got Jack Grealish, and to me that's a downgrade. That is a fucking downgrade.
I think
David Silva is 20 times the player Grealish is.
Of course,
he didn't have much choice. No, who else was going to pay 100 million for him apart from Man City?
No.
United.
Oh, it was a clause, wasn't it? If a Champions League club comes, I can go.
Listen, he could have stayed at Villa, and Villa probably could have gotten Champions League football. With the shit that was going on with Tottenham, Arsenal, United, West Ham, Villa should have been better. So fuck that.
Yeah, it was going to be a doddle at City.
A lot of times players take. It's usually the second season when they do them. Under Pep.
Do you think Pep wanted him?
Yeah, but where does he play for Pep? That's the thing. Where does he play?
Do you think Pep wanted him or the club bought him?
I mean, I think Sterling
doesn't even fucking play.
Yeah, but I think
Sterling doesn't play. Jesus doesn't play. Mahrez doesn't play. They all play like a game every now and then.
So then you take it to England. Take it to the England.
I'll be right back.
You take it to the England setup. He picked Sterling over Grealish, and I agree with him. Sterling's a better player than Grealish.
Sterling's a better player than Grealish.
We're all crying for Grealish to come on. He came on and did fuck all.
Do you know what I think Pep wants to do? And this is going to sound absurd. I think it wouldn't surprise me if he considered playing 9 defenders, Kevin De Bruyne, and tried to win the league. Because he obviously doesn't want to do it with a striker.
Here's a question for you, and you guys might tell me to fuck off because you don't care
Fuck off.
about the guy
Don't
because
care.
of where he plays.
We don't
What do you
care.
think? What do you think Marcus Rashford should do?
I always
I
say
think he should carry on making sure that kids are fed.
I think he's overrated. I think he's overachieved. And I think, look, I'm not saying he hasn't done well and he hasn't merited England performances. He has, but for me, he wouldn't have got his chance. He was about to go on loan. He was the 5th choice striker. That doesn't bode well. He's adapted well. He's evolved well, but not enough for me. I've always thought he's overrated. I think he misses easy chances. He's got his pace, which helps him, and I've always called him Gashford because he's gash.
Don't you think he should go to a club like more
Everton
or West Ham or?
You know, I hate to say it, but he would fit into Arteta's system.
He would fit into. I think so as well.
And he would. The problem is he would be competing with Saka, who he's our star boy. He's our.
Saka?
We all have a love for him. Where even though half of the season, Jimmy was commenting earlier before.
I think he'll have probably slept through his alarm again. He's done that a couple of times.
Sorry to interrupt.
However, he's on the right? Rashford plays on the right.
Plays on the left too. He's
in competition there with Saka, but you look at Arsenal season where Saka the first half of the season was not doing shit, and we were stuck with Martinelli and Emile Smith-Rowe who play on the left, and we only had Pepe.
What do you think what do you think his price is right now?
His price is 25 million.
25, 30. Well, no, because I think
he's just got that.
To me, right, this is how pathetic football pricing is. I personally think he's worth more than Dan James. I think
But Dan James works harder. Dan James just works harder, though.
But you get more output from
Rashford is more talented. I think Rashford is more talented.
So, and then I think if Leeds had been shrewd business people, they would have realised that nobody else wanted Dan James. We can pay 18 million and they'll give us him. They would have done that eventually. But I think
we went in with what should have been a 5th offer.
Yeah.
They accepted. We basically went in when, like you say, we should have said 15 because we know you have no interest in playing him because you've just paid for Ronaldo. But instead, we went in as if he had scored 40 goals last season, and we were like, we really want this player. And they were like, really? You'll give us how much?
Yeah, typical Leeds.
Whoever negotiated that should be punched in the face.
Manchester United have consistently had Leeds pants down over transfers for years. I mean, they went in to buy Dennis Irwin. They said no. We ended up giving them Eric Cantona for 1.2 million.
You know, we phoned them up asking about Dennis Irwin, and they ended up getting Cantona. I couldn't believe it.
Rio Ferdinand was 30 million, but it was all in add-ons, and I think we got about 16 million for him in the end. Do you know, which was 2 million less than we paid for it.
No, because we got him when it hadn't come out about we had no money.
Yeah.
But if that had been 6 months later, it would have been 10 million.
You think he leaves England, maybe?
Who, Rashford or?
Yeah. What, it probably would be a good thing for him if he did.
Roma would be a good fit, yeah.
I was thinking maybe like Dortmund or something.
Dortmund. I was thinking Italy. I think he fit Italy brilliantly, especially with his pace. It's a slow game, isn't it? So, but Dortmund, I think Dortmund. Who's he going to replace at Dortmund?
Fucking Dan James.
Dan James was great in Inception.
He was so good in Inception. I believed he was a woman. It was really good. But then I spun the thing and realized no, he plays for Leeds.
Do you see? Have you seen the video when they're in the changing room after, and like Jesse Marsh is doing his life coach thing, but in the background, like behind him, you can see like Melier is stood next to Dan James. He's like kissing him on top of the head. He's like, "This is creepy and erotic at the same time."
Have you seen
Because from up there, he really looks like
Yes.
Marion Cotillard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Mesut Ozil next to a 20-odd-year-old Enzo Ferrari? It's scary how lookalikes they are.
Who?
Mesut Ozil, and I think it's Enzo Ferrari. Let me just have a look.
Oh, I gotta show you this.
Who else in the league needs a change of setting?
Well, Ozil for sure. Just kidding.
Frank Lampard needs a change in employment.
I've sent it to the happy hour link.
But do you guys? I know you guys don't watch a lot of Arsenal shit, but do you guys know who Wizzy is? Hugh Wizzy is.
I am aware of him.
Super popular.
He says
YouTube
everything
channel.
is fraudulent.
Yeah, basically. So I was walking through Manhattan the other day, and I saw this guy walking by with an Arsenal kit, and it was like this Tuesday or Wednesday or something, and I was like, the fuck is somebody wearing an Arsenal kit? And you could tell he was like smoking meth or something. He was trying, and I was like, check him out, it's Hugh Wizzy.
Yeah,
but like that's his look with the big beard and the kind of fro and the way he was walking and talking to himself, and then I realized he's wearing an Ozil kit.
I thought that was
I'm
all
like,
money.
that's our level right now. Is our kits are for crackheads in the West Village. Anyway.
I like the new Arsenal kit. It's more Arsenal than Ajax.
Yeah, the fucking the collar though. I'm not. And of course, I told Naji that I'm not a fan of the polo, and I look at him, and he's wearing a polo, like, fully buttoned up, and I'm like, it's Saturday, and it's 100 degrees. Why are you wearing a polo buttoned up to the top? Are you going to rob me? Like, anyway. All right, guys, well, that's our show. We're at 2 hours, guys.
God, that flew.
We didn't do any trivia that I worked on.
Holy shit.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
Did they fall into the machine in the fly?
I think he was born the year he died as well. Ozil was born the year Ferrari died. I'm sure it's something freaky like that.
Wait, John, put that back up. I need a little screen grab of that.
I sent it to the happy hour.
It's on the WhatsApp.
Yeah, the WhatsApp.
Not that there's a special WhatsApp group or anything.
There is. It just costs more money to get involved in.
Sad, wouldn't it?
Hold on, let me just post that. I misspelled WTF.
What fuck the?
I would
there
prefer
was like
Rashford
a D
concentrated on
fuck the what?
feeding the kids. I do love when politicians have a go at him and go, you should concentrate on football. It's like, maybe he would if you concentrate on doing your fucking job, mate.
I think the older he got as well, I think there's another one where he's a bit older and it's like even more scary. You know, look.
Wow. That is absolute nuts. We should get like some of these
Lookalike.
some more of those.
I do think, the people are like, that he needs to concentrate on football. He can't multitask. I'm like, half of these athletes are shooting commercials, multiple commercials midweek. Like, they have the ability to keep two things in their head. That's not the reason why he's had.
That's a comment in it, that from Jason Layla. Sorry, Chris.
Oh, no worries. I'm like, he's having a bad year because it's a dysfunctional fucking organization.
Yes. It's not because he's gone home from training and then gone, right, I've got this
What did
letter
he
from
say?
this kid or
What was
whatever.
Jason Lullis? Yo, Jason, good to see you as well, my friend. Was Ferrari the Ozil family's milkman? Possibly. So listen, guys, I put a little comment there, a little poll out on the stream there in the comments section. We are at the 2 hour mark, and this is usually when we call it a day, but you know, we haven't done trivia, we haven't done anything, and we are kind of enjoying the conversation. I don't know about you guys. So the question is, should we keep going or call it a night? And your options are keep going, you fucks, or I'm tired, call it a night. So you guys go ahead and post it. In about 5 minutes, I'll check the results and we'll see what we're going. We love you too, Jason. Good to see you. Cheers, my man. I'm on my
Please
fourth.
excuse me one moment. I'm just going to change
I'm on my
earbuds.
fourth 7%er. Yeah, and I'm going to need to change earbuds as well. It's been in for a long time. So, guys, if you guys know any more of these lookalikes like that, of like an old dude and a modern person, let us know. We'll look them up. We'll text them to the YouTube group. I mean, the WhatsApp group.
That's the other Ben Ireland.
I don't know him.
Which one?
Apparently, he's a paid-up member, though. Fair play.
He is. He's paid up on multiple accounts. And I gotta say, to stick up for you, Ben, when John said something about, of course you don't log off of the show because you're on it. I just gotta say, before Ben was ever on, I think the first show Ben was ever on, we had an issue with audio because he had his TV, his laptop, an iPad, a cell phone. He had us on every fucking screen because he knows every view counts. So you, right there, man, you showed the love. I was like, you gotta turn all the volumes. You keep the volume on one of them.
I had 3 memberships. I was on the. I started on the. What's the other thing called? The Patreon thing.
On Patreon, yeah.
I started on there, but
I'll try into that.
I wasn't happy because I wasn't in green and I didn't get the little S.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
with that, I went on to YouTube, but I kept the Patreon, and then
I
obviously
think I still have the
the
Patreon.
night my phone died, so I had to log into the ex-missus's account with the thumbprint. So, yeah, that's obviously a legendary episode. So that was the 3rd account I had with you. But yeah, I used to. It took me about 5 weeks, I think, from when you was taking callers to actually.
Yeah, it took you a while.
Call in, yeah.
Oh, I gotta say, this has been an incredible.
Well, you do have a face for radio.
Yeah, I know, and I'm glad I do. Yeah.
You know, if you haven't noticed,
Sorry,
I do
know
like
what
to
I'm
make
doing,
sure
right?
I'm the prettiest person on the
Sorry.
screen. So.
Well, it's not exactly a lot of competition going.
Hey, I'm fucking gorgeous. Thank you very much. I get told that daily by this dude at the end of the block.
Yeah, but if I was ever in, if we was ever in a bar and there was just the one woman,
We'll see you, Robbie.
Between me and you, I'd just show her the clip of you pissing yourself.
And she go, "Oh, he was on TV. Let's do it."
I like how your lady's voice.
My lady's
She's
voice
like
is the
Robert
same as my
Winston.
gay voice.
All right, let's do our favorites for the league, and I know we don't know all the teams yet. Who's
Modest too, exactly.
going to get relegated next year?
We should have done
Relegation.
on a week-by-week basis, grading different teams.
Relegation next
That
year.
would have carried us through the summer, Lolo.
You know what,
Huddersfield,
guys?
if they come up.
I think it is finally the year. We finally got Burnley out, right? I think it's the year the feeder club goes.
Southampton?
I think it's the time Southampton goes. I'm sorry. Thank you, Chris, for getting
They
one
They
of my
are,
references.
they are trending backwards.
I also think
I think
Fulham
it's time.
will go down
Like,
again.
who would you buy off of their team right now besides fucking
I
Ward
was
Prowse?
gonna say, well, no, ask Liverpool, man. Who would you buy off them?
The center back is the only player I would buy.
Who? Salisu.
Salisu, maybe James Ward-Prowse.
Would you pay 75 million for either of them?
No. I would pay
75 million for the pair of them.
I would pay maybe 70 for the pair.
Outside of dead ball situations, though, is he that good?
No.
Who? Ooh,
Or
uh,
Prowse?
it's
Isn't that
hard to
good?
tell because they're
If
so
you
shit.
don't get 3 kicks in a game, are you wasting a spot in your 11? Is my question.
I don't think he's a liability on the field.
No, I think he's
He
he's
plays in your
solid.
Carling Cup team, let's be honest, doesn't he?
I guess the fairer question I'm asking is, are the 3 kicks clouding people on how good that man really is?
If you can get a guy who always gets fouled outside of the box, you have
That's
like
what
10, you have like 10
that's what
goals.
Pep. I'm telling you, that was Pep's only reason of buying Grealish is we can get fouls outside of the box and we have Kevin De Bruyne. It's just the first half of the season they didn't have Kevin De Bruyne. So Jack Grealish was like, "Oh, I'll play football," and he's like, "That's not what you're here for."
Well, so the other thing, I do think Prowse is could be good in a double pivot because he passes the ball really well. But he's not as box to box.
Oh,
You know, he kind of reminds me of he's like the English Pirlo. Like you need
No,
to
no.
you need to build around him.
There's already one of them.
Wait.
Pick another player.
I forgot about Calvin. No, the difference is Calvin
Who's
Phillips.
the English
Calvin
Pirlo?
Phillips.
Sorry,
Calvin Phillips actually moves around a lot.
sorry. Who were you incorrectly saying was the English Pirlo?
James Ward-Prowse.
Ah,
No, that's Calvin Phillips.
Calvin Phillips is more like the English Gattuso. In reality.
No, that's
Oh,
saying he's a dirty
Christopher.
twat on tackle.
You guys are Leeds.
Come on.
Oh dear me. Who's winning?
People in this comments.
He's
We've
like-
got people in this
who's
comment
winning-
section
who's
who are
winning
voting
tomorrow
to
night,
keep this
guys?
going.
I'm
Definitely
all.
wishing they'd gone the other way.
I'm sorry, I'm all with Master tomorrow night now. That's it. You've just
All right.
you burned your
All right,
bridge.
James Ward-Prowse is the less talented English Xabi Alonso.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry,
That's a
the
lot of
horse has already bolted.
qualifiers.
I'm already upset. All right.
There you go, Leeds fans. Pablo
Yeah, but
Hernandez.
when he's excited, he's also from the Ozil family, isn't he?
This is from Carol Gunny.
No,
Carol
I like
Gunny
it.
sent
I
me
do.
this
I
on
like
Twitter.
it. Yeah, it's the eyes.
I like that. Who is this guy though? Because he's like a Shakespeare wannabe, but it's not Shakespeare.
I think it's one of the Louises.
It's probably like
from France.
Beethoven or Bach or
I
something.
think
It's
Louis
probably
XIII.
Pablo Hernandez's like great uncle or something. Oh, she says she's watching. So Carol, who is that? Who is that you found that?
Is that Rembrandt?
That's not Rembrandt. I used
We've
to have a
basically,
bunch of Rembrandts
we've
in my
basically
bathroom.
named all the old people we know.
I think it's
King Charles II.
yeah, or Louis the 14th or some one of some.
Shook's
Oh,
back.
no, I'm not guessing. She
No,
said it's
Louis the
King
14th
Charles
would have
II.
a lot more
Shook's back.
makeup on.
I'm gonna go with Shook's bat. I
it
believe
Marlowe?
that
No,
is Shook's
Carol
bat.
Gunny has literally said it's King Charles II. That's not my guess. She said it.
Tom, I don't listen to Carol Gunny unless she tweets me on Twitter. Is that how you say that?
Well, I'm looking these up. King.
I love you, Carol.
That gay
Good
voice,
to see
yeah.
you. We hadn't
Tweets
seen
me
your
on Twitter.
quote in a
Do
while.
people
Tweets me
say
on
faces
Twitter.
on Facebook?
Can you face me on Facebook?
No, it's not Charles II.
No, but like Ben doesn't watch me on WhatsApp.
He twats you on WhatsApp. That's
Ben's
a
very
different app.
nice to me on WhatsApp.
Anyway, I'm
Right.
not on Facebook. I'm on Bebo.
The fuck is Bebo?
Bebo's going to be coming back, mate. I'm telling you. I'll
You
put
reckon,
shares in
mate?
it.
I'm on
Listen,
Friends.
Bebo was for kids. It was like Facebook for kids in the early 2000s.
Bebo is in a very small window between MySpace and Facebook.
Yeah, in between. Before Facebook took off. You had Bebo, MySpace, Bebo, Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh my God! No, who just asked that? Pincushion. Good to see you, Pincushion, on here. Does anybody know who Calvin Phillips was? And I looked it up, and what I got was ex-pilot convicted in Kentucky for triple murder. Pamela and Calvin Phillips killed with neighbor in
A lot of death in
triple
them.
homicide.
Was it by the
Is
other
this-
Calvin Phillips?
Or Calvin, these are all Calvin with a C. Calvin Phillips, Vice President for Student Affairs and Dean of University of Minnesota.
Delicious.
Exim-
Just
I don't know who you're referencing, Pincushion. Are you making me look up triple homicides? This is what I used to do for a living, and I'm not that I used to do triple homicides for a living. I used to research fucking homicides for a living. Done. Moving on, next topic. Let's check the scores of the poll. Ooh, we do have some votes for I'm tired, call it a night. However, that's only 12% of the votes. 88% of you guys.
They always have the option of. No, I'm not even going to say it. You don't have the option. You've got to stay with us. Start till you finish.
still work after all these years.
All right, let's grade some more teams.
This is the time, though.
All right, I want you guys. I want you guys to grade Newcastle.
Hey,
They are a team of two halves. First half of the season, F.
You'll have
F
to
for fucking atrocious.
send me your account details. They can have an F because it cost me $100.
grade Leicester.
Oh my God, yeah. What was our actual bet again?
$100 or £100
That what?
if I'd have won.
That what?
It's $100 if you won and £100 if I won.
Yeah, but what was the actual bet? Oh, there's
they
the
didn't
poll.
go down. It's when they were just before Eddie Howe took over.
Yeah, you see how I forgot that bet because it was such fucking easy money. Like clearly they weren't going to go down.
Do you know what it is, mate?
Clearly.
After all your poor betting all year, I had to give you one, just so the wife doesn't suspect.
Just so I can waste that on like the fucking Miami Heat.
No,
Or like
That's
last
some
night.
incoming money.
That's your betting.
Last night I had a fucking bet that had 20 legs on it. All of them easy money.
That's
And they
terrible
all
idea.
hit except for one.
It's always the
It
case.
was Steph Curry. Steph Curry, of all people, let me down.
And it's
Oh.
all,
What did he need to do?
Score 20 points.
How many did he get?
What did he have? Like 17?
15.
I'm going to
He had
send you.
50. No, the reason he only had 15 is because Klay Thompson went on a Klay Thompson, who's done fuck all. I had Klay Thompson for 10 points
Did he go
because
for, did he
he's
get
done
lots of
fuck all.
threes?
He was like 27 points, so Steph Curry didn't have to do anything, and they won.
Guys, Chris, Tom, can we have an intervention here with Lolo?
No.
I think
No.
we're gonna have to. I'm going to send you a link to GA, mate. Honestly,
Gamblers.
Is that Good Morning America?
In
Oh, that's
England, they're called
GMA.
in England, they're called Gamcare.
they call Gamcare. I wouldn't know.
In England, yeah.
You need to
I have to advise people on that a lot.
I'd rather just that. My sort of betting is, other than a lottery ticket, is I'd rather bet with Lolo or you, do you know, than give it to a corporation.
No, I enjoy it. I enjoy
No, I
gambling.
get that, I
What?
get
Excuse me. My problem was when I lived in New Orleans, and I had to work downtown a lot of times on shoots and stuff like that, and they wouldn't pay for your parking. So if you parked at Harrah's Casino and you gambled for an hour, you would get free parking. So I could park there all day, and I would have to pay like $60 because I parked there all day, 12 hours or so. But then at the end of the night, if I just put my card into a slot machine and I just had to bet $1 at least, it would be paid for. Then I could validate my parking. It's free. I leave. Good. So I did that a bunch of times. And then I was like, I'm bored. Here's more. Here's more. Here's more. This is stupid. If I go to the tables, I don't need to go for an hour. As soon as I walk up to the table, I give them my thing, they give it right back to me, and I can walk out. Then I'm there for 7 hours playing blackjack, and I'm like, oh, my shift starts in 2 hours. I'll just stay here and keep playing. That's when I had a problem. Not to mention I had like $100 in the bank, but
At that time,
All right.
you were probably better off just paying the $60 for parking.
exactly. Jason Lillis wants us to rank the leagues in the world. So let's talk about the leagues in the world, and let's make it 5. So let's pick 5. Premier
Will it
League,
be
La
the
Liga,
top 5?
Bundesliga.
Yeah.
Serie
League
A
One.
and then Farmers.
and Serie A.
I wouldn't even say the Farmers. I'd say the Championships above the Farmers.
No, come on.
It is for
For
excitement.
entertainment,
So
maybe.
so how about this?
Teams.
Instead of that,
It's
how about
more
this?
attended. It's in the top 5 attended.
Well,
So here we
they're
go.
French.
You guys give me your top 5 leagues in the world, regardless of division. So you could pick Championship. You
Our
could
top
pick
5
Premier.
in the world, right? Premiership,
Because Liga
Premier League.
MX, where's Liga MX? Come on.
Premier League number 1.
We don't get that over it.
I'd pick La Liga is number 2, 3 Bundesliga,
It's 2. Despite what we say about it, it's 2.
3 Bundesliga, 4 Serie A, and then 5 Argentinian league with Boca and River Plate.
I go 1. I mean,
You hate France that much.
I'd go 1.
Shit,
I'd go
it's just the
1.
one trick team pony, and it's just fucking wank. Sorry, Chris, off you go.
No, 1 is. I think for the last 3 years, I would say Premier League. I think if we were talking 3 years ago, I'd have Spain ahead of England. Then Spain. They had 2 teams in the Champions League semifinals, 1 in the final. Relatively competitive top 4. 3, I'm gonna take Serie A ahead of Bundesliga because I just think it's more competitive at the top. For a while, it felt like a 3-team race.
Now it is.
Now it is. Thank God.
But for 10 years, it was exactly the same.
Yeah, so Juventus won 9 years in a row. They only had that 1 year where they were kind of challenged by Napoli, but the last 2 years, 2 different winners, kind of close at the end. 4, I'm going to go with France ahead of Germany, even though maybe Bayern's better, but France, at least you can say Monaco won 1 year. You can say Lille won 1 year.
Montpellier won 1 year.
Montpellier won, like, in the time that Bayern won 10, PSG won 7, which is still too many. But at least 3 other teams came up. And the one thing is, I think France develops some of the best players that come into the Premier League. I think Germany develops a lot of youth, but it sometimes it's a little more hit and miss. Number 5, I go Bundesliga.
Yeah, the thing with German development is, I think it's a small handful of great players rather than a lot of good players. Yeah.
The thing with Germany and the Netherlands is that if you look statistically, they're the 2 highest scoring leagues of like the top kind of 10 European leagues. So as a result, whenever you get forwards from those leagues, I don't think they respond as well to how strong the defense is and how destructive the midfield can be.
Timo Werner, for example, yeah.
And then you look at Spain, Portugal, and France. They're actually they're lower scoring generally than the Premier League. So the players that score in those leagues, I feel like, tend to make a better transition. Where I thought for sure Werner is going to score 15, 20 goals a year just because of how he looked fucking great at Leipzig. And even I still think Havertz will turn out good.
Yeah, I think there's a player in Havertz, definitely.
But
he's had big moments, to be fair to him.
Yeah. But even one
of the pluses at Chelsea for me this season has been Kai Havertz. From last season, I mean, you took a season to bed in, but yeah. How do you rate your leagues, Tom?
It's generally similar to you both, obviously, but the thing I think that you'll find happening this summer is Spain as a league or as a football culture is going to reap not the rewards, the opposite of it. They're going to suffer the medicine, let's say, that they created, as in they started the excesses of spending in football. Like Real Madrid were the first team really to be like, we're going to take that player on, Steve McManaman, when they were like, we're going to give you 65 grand a week because we're not paying a transfer fee.
Basically, yeah, the Galactic.
They're complaining that the Mbappe transfer is anti-football, but they literally started that sort of behaviour. Like, it weren't a problem. It weren't poison in football according to them when they did it. But now that we have I know they're showing at PSG, but the thing outside England is all the teams that are in the Super League outside England think England is already a Super League because of the TV deal.
That's why I think it's more likely if you see the Super League approached again, I think you're gonna see it between Spain, Italy, and France.
But no one will watch it.
I think I'm gonna have to
English
go.
teams.
I think I'm gonna have to go more with Ben on this, and add the Argentinian league, and add Liga MX because I've been watching a lot more. I tried watching MLS, fucking boring as shit and terrible football.
Are you saying this in terms of like most entertaining to watch, or the best teams and best players?
Listen, if you look at it, you guys are all talking about Timo Werner tearing it up in the Bundesliga. All these players in the Bundesliga tearing it up, doing good things, and then they come to the Premier League or they go to La Liga, and it takes them a year or two. Look at Luis Diaz.
De Bruyne was a successful move from Germany back to England.
But what I'm saying is, who is ready to go? I'm more excited about us signing somebody from Argentina or somebody from Mexico than I am of us signing a Bundesliga random-ass player or a Serie A random-ass player from there. Because they work harder.
Players.
They if you watch Liga MX, it's like fucking WWE, WWF. Like, they just go at it and they fucking ball. And it is a lot of like huge passes and running at the goal, and they don't finish well. But I gotta say, like, we gotta stop having this European bias that the whole world has. The fact that the best team in the world is the one that wins the Champions League, yet
true though.
River Plate doesn't play in that. Boca Junior doesn't play in that.
But then we tend to beat them when I say we.
Yeah, because you play them once. You play them once.
But we beat them
in a minute. Yeah, and you know what? In the World Cup, who wins the World Cup? Who are the contenders every year? And it's always these South American teams.
But their best.
It generally depends on where it's played, though.
All I'm saying is we need to stop focusing on France and fucking Italy. I still think I would put. So let me give you my top. Would be Premier League, La Liga, Bundesliga, and then it would be Argentina and Mexico.
I think right. Let's take it to the bullshit cup. What fucking Chelsea won and Liverpool won the year before, the World Club. The South American teams always run. It's always a close run game between the Premier League side in the World Club.
That's why the Premier League is
one game.
Yeah, but still, over a consistent every year, it's tight. Every year, it's tight.
Yeah, but you have to keep in mind, Ben, it's seeded.
If I were to re-rate this on the best league to watch,
it's seeded for that match to happen. It's not set up expecting the North American Champions League winner to beat Liverpool or to beat Chelsea and then play Palmeiras.
No, I understand that. I understand there's a huge gap. There is a huge gap. But if we're looking at, so what am I judging it? I'm judging it on entertainment value, skill, and competitiveness.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
That's why Bundesliga should be lower.
One, if it was entertainment, because the race at the top is boring, and the relegation battle is not been the relegation battle. Other than the third place, the last two teams have been insufferable for about 4 years now. Like
of what
the
league?
The 19th and 20th place teams have been fucking horrible for about 4 or 5 years now.
Of Premier League.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just it's
But I
basically-
mean that should should almost be the
Italy
case.
is a much
I think
more
that's more of a
more
reflection how strong the top two are, though,
yeah.
because they're
But-
taking points off everyone.
If you're talking,
But I mean,
about,
come on, we're coming into a global age. Like, can we get over the fact that they're not in Europe, so they're not as good? Like,
No, but
fuck off.
I'm
Fuck
not
off.
saying that. I'm not disputing. If you
The
think
fact
they're top
the,
five,
the,
that's fine.
the fact
I
that
can't
Belgium
watch it
gets
to
clubs
confirm
in.
it.
Yeah, no, you can. The fact that like we play Champions League football and the winner of the Champions League is the best team in the world. Most of the world is not invited to that fucking tournament.
You know what? When it comes to the Champions League,
And when it comes to one game, when it comes to you need to win your one game, you mean to tell me Boca Juniors, River Plate couldn't beat fucking Fjornyard?
They couldn't make it.
River Plate are atrocious.
They could never make it.
Sure. I just have love for them because of my buddy Alejo. But
I think a Champions League should be exactly what it is, a Champions League. The champions of every league in Europe, not fourth fucking place. It's not a Champions League.
And the Africans, Mo Master, for once you speak truth. Most of your comments here are just talking shit about me. I love them though.
I don't know enough about the African leagues.
I don't know enough about the African League either.
I mean, if we're talking about pure entertainment value up and down the table, it's different every year. This year, the Italian table was the most interesting table by far, just because there was legitimately 3 teams that could have won going into the last month. Like, and the relegation battle wasn't solved until like the last week or two.
You want to talk about an interesting table? On Sunday, a team that finished 17th and 18th in the Championship last year are going to be playing a match for 200 million.
Championship is incredibly entertaining.
But both teams were shit last year.
No one would have thought.
And on Sunday, they're playing for the biggest prize in football.
I mean,
and they've not took a massive gamble or thrown a lot of money at it either. It's just they've actually slogged it out.
The team who loses tomorrow out of Real Madrid and Liverpool are still going to earn a lot of prize money. And it's still going to enable their club to have prestige, and you just get slightly more prestige if you win. The loser of Huddersfield and Nottingham Forest will probably be fucked.
They get the gate receipts from it's a tradition.
Yeah.
They give them the full gate from Wembley.
Yeah, because you're basically getting 100 grand instead of 200 million.
We get championship game. We only get like 3 a week through ESPN Plus. Just fucking put them all on there. Why not?
You need to get your
in this age of streaming.
No, you know what, Chris, even above that, you know what I've realized in this whole, I know you guys just said I have a problem with gambling, but honestly, if they put championship, if they put any of these, they put MLS and Liga MX on FanDuel and people were allowed to bet on them, their viewership went out the roof this season. So if you put championship on a gambling site as well, like, why not? Why not?
Like, as poor as the play is, MLS is actually still an entertaining league.
Why do I give you super chats if you're just gonna?
MLS is the best it's ever been, though. To be fair to it,
and it's terrible. Have you watched
it? It's terrible,
it?
but the table is actually very competitive, so it's kind of
but it's terrible football.
Yeah, but who's going down and who's not going down?
They're
all not going down.
Is this why me and Mark?
Why it'll never be exciting.
Exactly why.
100%.
100%. That's why.
I mean, the relegation battle creates so much excitement. Like
when are we having an intervention?
It creates jeopardy because had there been no relegation in the Premier League, our season would have been over when we got knocked out of the FA Cup in January, and we'd have been plodding along for 5 months. And we'd have been bored
on the stoop.
What?
Honestly, I've had anxiety.
Chris ain't that bad, John.
So if we never met if we never met you or never had James on the show, I wouldn't have given a fuck about this relegation battle. But I've had anxiety for like 3 fucking months. I'm like, I want Everton to go down.
I'll second you there. You've been behind us all season, to be honest.
He had more faith in us than we did.
Yeah, he did. He has been.
I would say we all had more.
No, but to be fair, right? To be fair to us on that, that's because you don't have the emotional investment you think you do in the moment. Because ultimately, if we go down, you're still going back to Liverpool in Premier League football in August.
To me, I lost my hair and it's just grown back. Tom hasn't recovered yet.
No,
if anyone didn't know, if anyone didn't know, Tom's actually bald. It was. I mean, me last week.
The second the game that Chelsea purposely gave to Frank, I'm like, this shit's fucked. I was so upset that week.
Do you know I've been called delusional, all kinds of stuff, because I suggested that Chelsea gave him the goal they scored was absurd. They literally had, and I know we tried to give Arsenal fourth, but that's allowed because that suited Arsenal and suited us and suited Stoop. So that's fine. Cheating's allowed in that way. But Everton tried to cheat at our expense, and it shouldn't be allowed.
All right, I got to go pour some more brown liquor. I'll be right back.
That's the advantage in next season. They're going to be on minus points.
Carol Gunny has just sent me another one. Let me check it out. Who she says. Oh, we have an Almiron. But I don't know who this guy is next to him. You guys know Almiron?
Yeah.
Formerly of Atlanta United.
The guy Grealish compared Mahrez to.
Wait, really?
He said they asked a question about the game, and his answer was, "Yeah, we should have took Mahrez off because he was playing like Almiron." So yeah, there was a bit of uproar on TalkSport about it and whatnot. So. That's Andrew Lloyd Webber, the guy who did Cats.
Andrew Lloyd Webber and Almiron.
That's a bit harsh, an Almiron. I think it was a comedian called Frankie Boyle said that Andrew Lloyd Webber looked like they melted his face and then piped it back onto his shoulders.
Oh my God! And how does my favorite keeper not play in the final match of the season against Man City? Well, it's because if City win the league, Aston Villa gets an additional £18 million because of the Grealish deal. So, yeah, they go up 2 goals, and then they end up shipping in 3. How did that happen? Well, they didn't have Emi Martinez in goal.
To be fair, Villa were
Emi
on a hiding no matter what happened. If Villa had won,
they went up 2.
Well, they only won because of Liverpool. Because of Liverpool connection. They only tried hard, but they didn't try hard against Liverpool.
Yeah, I never knew that, and that throws some doubt into that result. 8 minutes, they were done.
They gave up 3 goals in 8 minutes, or 5 minutes.
The thing is, as soon as Man City got the first goal, you knew they were getting free.
Yeah.
Deep down, once it wasn't going to finish 2-1 or 2-2, was it? It was going to stay 2-0 or they were going to win 3-2.
Look at you, Mo Master. He says he might actually learn something here. Yeah, exactly. There was a clause in the Jack Grealish deal of, here, you can have him for X amount of money, but if you win the league with him playing a certain amount of games, which he did, we get 18 million. And then on the final day, Aston Villa are responsible for that. They go up 2-0, and it wasn't until Liverpool started fighting back that they were like, okay, let's give up 3 goals. And then they give up 3 goals. However, Emi Martinez, your keeper is rested on the final day. What the fuck does Emi Martinez need to rest for?
Can I tell you guys an interesting statistic about the final day you might not know in the Premier League? Not. Keep quiet. No, I'm serious. This is a genuine thing. Never once in the history of the 30 years of the Premier League being a competition, never ever has the team that has been second place on the final day overturned and gone into first. It has never happened.
Well, and had it ever happened for Leeds United, that thing where you started in in the bottom and you weren't in the bottom?
11 years ago, I think was the last time, or 2011.
Well, you would know this if we actually played trivia, because I did my research and there's a category called Last Week in the Prem and
Ding, ding,
It was
ding.
Wigan.
Their Last Week
Ding,
in the
ding,
Prem.
ding, 2011.
It was Wigan.
Mr. Tom, I'm just saying, you're going to be upset
Wigan's 2013.
that we didn't do trivia because there was a category called Lights, Camera, 90s Action.
That's a good question. If you're Wigan,
Let's just do it now.
if you're
Just do it now.
Wigan, would
Why
you
can't
take
we?
would you take winning the FA Cup in 2013 or staying in the league?
Staying in the
No, I
league.
think
More
no,
money.
because we did this last week and we said, would we get relegated or take an FA Cup? And we said we'd take an FA Cup because that's something that lasts a lifetime.
That was not my question. My question was, would you come straight back up or win the FA Cup?
Well, maybe that's different, but out of the two, you take the cup because that can't be taken away from you. Like we could stay up and then get relegated the next year anyway, and then you'd be where you was and you'd be cupless.
Here's a question for you guys, because you've obviously been watching and paying and been fans for much longer than Lolo and I've been.
I've only been a fan about 4 years, but all right.
For you guys, has the FA Cup lost its allure in your lifetime?
It has. Yeah, definitely.
It doesn't take away the fact that every
It's
year I
prestigious.
hope that we can do well in it. But yeah, I've sort of, it's gone more towards the League Cup mentality in my mind than it, yeah. But I obviously if we won
Okay,
it,
do you know the moment?
Do you think it would be more precious if the League Cup went away,
No,
or is that irrelevant?
no, I don't think it matters. The thing that I think the bigger clubs are, the actual thing I think that adds the disrespect towards the League Cup is the League Cup early rounds are not to benefit us; it's to benefit the lower league clubs so they can get a payday when they play us.
I think it should just be the Football League Cup and get rid of the Johnson's Paint Trophy, and then we've got the FA Cup with everybody else where they can earn a payday, and they've got the Football League Cup.
Yeah, but the paint trophy is not our business, though, is it?
No,
I mean, I know our youth team is in it, but
Actually,
I mean,
I like that idea. Get rid of the league trophy. Make the League Cup tiers
Football
2,
League
3, and
team, yeah.
4, and then the Premier League just has the FA Cup that they participate in.
no, I think that if you actually want to play less games, then vote no on having a 10-game Champions League group stage, and just stick with 6 and play 6.
Is that what it's going to?
Oh yeah,
It's going to be 10.
32 teams.
So,
year
but
is
then,
that?
so then if you're telling me
38
that we should get
teams.
rid of the League Cup, but you vote yes to have a 10-game Champions League group stage,
Yes, Rob, we are
Ridiculous.
still going. Can you call in now? Now, are the kids in bed? You can call in?
That's silly.
What's Rebecca doing?
basically you're playing too many matches unless the matches are worth a lot of money, and then it's okay. Basically, you want to get rid of the games that don't pay you.
I think if Spain and obviously England carry on, then they'll end up with top 5 being
Are
champions.
there any owners of, let's say, typically larger, more successful clubs that you think are more respectful of the traditions of the league or of the game?
City, I think. They value the FA Cup. I think City do. I feel with the League Cup, a lot of teams throw the youth team at it until they get into the semi-finals. Then it becomes.
Can I tell you what killed? Can I tell you the exact moment the FA Cup lost its lustre or killed it? Was in the year 2000 when Manchester United said.
2000.
When Manchester United basically opted to not play in the FA Cup because they were going to play in the then World Club Championship in Brazil.
2000. Somebody got it.
Conan O'Brien.
Conan
Yeah,
O'Brien,
fuck you
even I
guys
knew
for not
that.
noticing it. That's what I have John here for. I can't wait
was actually
until
very
our show
early in the
is
year
rich
2000.
and famous, and John just gets to do that.
Because they'd scheduled that competition on the weekend of the third round.
Third
In
round.
the year
Third round.
3000.
In the year 4812. Tom was
In the
making a
year
point, but nobody was paying attention.
1921. In the year
No,
1921.
these kids are menaces.
Guys, so Rob can't join. Your kids are menaces. The toddler's passed out. I don't even know how many kids you have anymore. Jesus. But listen, what's the club where like even like a Sunday league could get in if they did well? Isn't there?
FA Cup.
Is that the FA Cup or the
Amateur? They're still in the football tier. It's
yeah. As long as you're in the
you've got-
tier, but you can be like 12 divisions down.
Yeah, you've got postmen and
Every-
electricians. Yeah, it's the
Every team in the football pyramid will. I think the only caveat
I
is
think
you've
that
got to have
club
already
should stay
existed for
forever.
1 year.
I
found
think that
out on
club
Football Manager.
that cup should stay forever, and fuck any Premier League club that's like, oh, we don't have it in our schedule. Then fuck off and say we're not going to do it. But then these smaller clubs
do what you do now and play your reserves or your youth team.
like when Tottenham played Marine or whoever, or Leeds played that club where the people are watching from their backyards. I thought that was fucking brilliant.
When I was in the army in 2001.
Who'd you play? West Shrimpshire or
No,
somewhere?
I played a friendly for basically the team only had they turned up with 10 players, so I ended up playing for a team against my army regiment called Haventon Waterlooville, and then 6 years later they were 2-0 up at Anfield in the FA Cup. They got beat 5-2, but that's the magic of the cup. You know, they were a really lowly league team, I think about 7th tier in the pyramid.
But Ben, that's football.
Yeah, and
anyone can lose to anyone on any day. You have to show up. BX Gunner, glad you joined us. 2 hours and 45 minutes into a 2-hour show.
Let the League Cup be for the EFL.
Nope.
No.
I still think we've still got to be in it. Because they aspire to play us.
Exactly.
They've got the FA Cup for that.
They have the FA Cup.
Let them have both. Let them have the two paid. Let them have the option to play us in the mid. But essentially, the League Cup is a midweek cup in the first half of the season, because 90% of the tournament is from the start of the season to Christmas, and then you got your semi-finals or whatever.
I have no interest in that cup. It's shit.
I'm with Ben on this.
No, but it's not about you.
The champion.
I don't care.
It's not fucking about you.
But my opinion.
Listen, Leeds United. Listen,
the League Cup
has
no history. It's 50 years old. When things are only 50 years old in football, they might as well be 5 years old.
I think it's 70 years old. Is it 60?
I thought it's 1970.
We won it in 68.
Yeah, 65 or so, 60.
Okay, so
yeah,
it's 60 years old. Still, it's shit.
As Eddie Izzard says,
It
in America, there's no history. We've restored this to the way it looked over 50 years ago.
What do the panel think? Stoop,
About what?
About the League Cup. Should we keep
Every
it?
other major European league has gotten rid of their second cup.
Let me put out another poll, okay? Should we keep the League Cup or no?
Fuck it. No, keep it, but take the Premier League out of it. Championship League One, League Two.
The point of it is that them teams get to play the Premier League clubs at some point.
I know the point in it, but
they play each other for the right to get
I'm
back
not
like Liverpool.
I'm not arguing.
Which cup are we talking about? Should we keep which cup?
Should we
Carabao Cup?
Yeah, Premier League teams League Cup or not? But I'm not arguing with you, Tom. I'm just saying my preference is that's what I do.
We don't even do well in it when we try to do well in it. So getting rid of it because it's an inconvenience is a bit insulting.
All right. Well, I put out a poll on the comments section. You guys can vote on it. We'll see what you think. I closed the poll on the original one.
This is deadly serious, and I'm going to get very upset if it don't go my way.
But I prefer the FA Cup by miles.
I lost interest in the League Cup in 1996.
We're at 50% right now of keep it
That
and
when
let it
Aston
go.
Villa battered us.
Battered us.
It weren't even close. Not even.
No.
It was a contest, and then it kicked off.
We had one player that turned up. I think it was Andy Gray.
Yeah, but not that Andy Gray.
No.
For anyone
So what do you
anyway.
guys think about this club? Have you guys heard of the club called #United?
Yeah.
I've heard of them.
Seen him on
So it's a
YouTube.
guy who just had a YouTube
games-
channel.
Yeah, I've seen him on YouTube.
Their games were shown on the BBC. The FA Cup games.
Because it was his channel and because they had like fucking support from that.
Yeah.
However, he was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe we're actually in the FA Cup," even though they're like way down there in the FA Cup. That to me is like if you had a local Prospect Park football team, like American football team, and you're like, hey, we're in a competition where we play the Dallas Cowboys next week. You know,
That's
to
the
me,
FA
that's
Cup.
amazing.
Could you imagine an on the
Did
Stoop
Germany
team?
get rid of their League Cup?
And we will have an on the stoop team, and we should be in the fucking FA Cup.
Yeah, but we'd have red cards from the likes of Scott Newby.
Exactly, because any fucking Spurs player who came running by me, I would break his goddamn leg. Absolutely.
I can imagine.
Son comes running by, and I would apologize to him and be like, "Yo, I'm so sorry." Crack.
Mr. Tom would be the good guy though, wouldn't he? Be like, "I'm sorry, sir."
Yeah, pardon me, sir, but I'm about to fuck you up.
He'd be stood in the tunnel when they get sent off. Come to the dungeon.
I was about to say that every team we play would mysteriously lose players.
Please, Morton's
They'd
got it
turn
right.
up
Without
at-
the
they'd
League
turn
Cups,
up at the
Jamie
ground, but
Vardy
they
might
wouldn't
be
be seen
organizing
leaving.
parties in Malta or somewhere right now. Exactly.
Yeah, we're gonna need to fact check that.
I don't know.
It
That's
is
how
a
it
shop
goes.
window for a lot of players.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
You've got to show you can cut it against the big boys.
Do you guys get Watsits? We're not.
No, what are they look,
They're like Cheetos. Well, yeah, like cheesy puts.
pull one out so I can see what it looks like.
Whoa. Be
Looks
careful
like a
what
cheese
you...
puff.
Mhm.
Yeah, that
That's
looks
about it.
delicious.
Yeah, I want some cheesy puts.
Jesus, we're almost at 3 hours. What have we
Man,
been doing?
bathroom.
We've still got
Check
trivia
your
to come,
email,
haven't we?
John. All right, let's check on this poll. We are still at 50%. Should we keep the League Cup? Exactly 50%, guys.
Oh,
Have you put the stream out for anyone?
No, I guess we should, right? It's
Well,
about
are
that
we
time,
still
3
live?
hours into the show. If anybody's interested in joining us, feel free to call in. We'll be doing a little bit of a post-match after party, even though we've kind of been doing that live, and I think John's asleep. But we're both wearing our Retrovolt shirts. How did I just realize
Cool,
that?
man.
I
Cool.
get rid of the League Cup. I get rid of
I think you
UEFA
should.
Nations League.
You should check the poll now.
I think
We should check the poll. Oh, did you kick it over the top? It is now 55% because Naji voted that we should keep the League Cup. Anybody else wants to vote? It is in the comment section. Vote
Yeah,
now.
because he wants to be able to win something, and that's all they're capable of winning at this point.
Well, it is 55%, and Naji likes things being at 55%.
All right, guys, we're gonna start a new segment here where this is the segment that I've been hoping to do for a while, but during the season was a little bit soft, so it was a little emotional during the season. But can we just take a couple minutes where you take your turn and you talk shit about the other guy's clubs? So, like Tom, for example, you will take 1 minute, 1 moment, and talk absolutely lay into Arsenal and lay into Liverpool because that's who's here.
Tom, talk shit about
Chris
Ben's
will
club.
do, Chris will do Leeds and Arsenal.
I'm gonna talk
You can do
shit.
Leeds as well.
I spent last week talking shit about Ben's club.
But I want this. I want
2
this
weeks
to
ago.
be no holds barred.
It's a bit
I want
unfair
you.
though, isn't it? Because we finished 17th. So
It's not though. I mean, why?
Right.
because you just get the point out that we finished 17th.
Yeah, but that's not. That's actually an achievement for you guys because you're a terrible club.
All three of us, let's talk about Arsenal.
There you go. You're all going to get a chance to talk about Arsenal. So who wants to go first? This is your chance to. We don't get to respond. You just get to go off.
Just the one
So,
thing to say about Arsenal.
Ben, you're going to go first? Hold on. We got to make you big, my friend. There you go.
Arsenal
That's what
fans.
she
And this is
Shut up, Tom.
it's not so much to Lolo as such, but it's to all you whinging fuckers on the trip. I watched the trip on Sunday, and you were all devastated and like, I don't know, it's like your grandmothers had died. You should be so happy that you finished 5th. It's a successful season. You were shit last season, so it's progress. Be happy, deal with it, move on.
And
Right,
Liverpool?
Fuck with Liverpool.
Liverpool,
It's
I
Festivus,
I
baby.
can. They fell short, but they didn't really fall short for me, Liverpool. So I can't really shit on Liverpool because there's nothing to shit on them for.
love you,
Jurgen
Rob.
Klopp, no, Jurgen Klopp, you prick. You got fucking Pascal Struijk sent off. Stop whinging at referees. There you go. Over and out.
All right. I like Rob's. I got a lot of problems with you people, and now you're gonna hear it. This is definitely
I love that.
a version of
That's Frank Costanza,
Festivus.
is it not?
Festivus.
No, it's Festivus.
Yeah.
Frank Costanza.
Oh, yeah,
Festivus.
sorry.
All right, Chris, you want to go?
All right, so I'll do Arsenal and Leeds.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I'll start with Arsenal. You guys need a fucking backbone. You guys need a leader. You guys want to play. You guys play some of the most attractive football that there is, but you guys don't have balls. I mean, maybe Xhaka has balls. I feel like you guys have a lot of balls on loan, but you don't want them because maybe they're, I don't know, maybe they're too much of a hotheads in the locker room. But I think you guys would actually benefit from a few more hotheads and not everyone being so sheepish. That's my Arsenal criticism.
I like it.
My Leeds criticism, you guys have too many balls. No, I'm kidding. No, my criticism of Leeds is of the ownership and the general management. As successful as they were in bringing up the team, and I'm gonna reiterate what Bondi says. You got to fucking spend the money. All right, you're in the Premier League now. The stakes is high. You guys got to spend the fucking money. You guys got to supplement your players. And if you're not going to invest in the team, next year is going to be, you guys escaped relegation this year. Next year, especially if Phillips or Rafinha don't want to stay, you got to spend the money. That's my criticism. All right, take me off the big box. Put me in a corner. No. You fuckers. Liverpool. You're a bunch of pussies too. You guys should have won the fucking league.
Somebody stick baby in the corner.
Sorry, I was peeing while you were fucking doing that. We're hour 3 of the show, so okay. I respect that. Okay. Tom, you want to go or should I go?
No, you can go. Go on.
All right. Liverpool. Liverpool, you guys got so much going on right now. You're doing so much right. However, I think you've bitten off the. I think you're sucking Klopp off a little too much. And when he says we have enough in house to get this done, you were like, yeah, we do. And then you saw that halfway through the season, you didn't. And you needed to add somebody. And you added a fire starter like Luis Diaz, and he does some good things for you. However, I think if you went into the season the way that you went into the second half of the season, the league was yours by 10 points. You Liverpool were the best team in the league this season. City got lucky a lot of times. You saw it when they lost to Palace. You saw it when they played Arsenal. They beat us and got all 3 points. They were not the best team on the pitch that day. Liverpool, generally speaking, were the best team on the pitch every time they took the field. You played City like a bunch of bitches because you knew a draw was better than losing. However, if you went out against City the way you went out against everybody else, you would have won that match because City are not who they seem to be. So, y'all need some balls. If y'all had balls, we couldn't handle it. We couldn't handle it. The rest of the league couldn't handle it. All right.
You know what we did against the top four? We drew all 3 teams twice.
Hold on. John's like making new graphics to make fun of all of us. So let me
saying
pull you
against-
back out here.
against-
And he laughs because that's what he's doing.
Against
Say that
City,
again?
against City, Chelsea, and Spurs, we drew all 3 of those teams twice.
Wow. And that's not good enough. It is
Yeah.
not good enough. And it's you guys playing like bitches. Because had the way you came out against Arsenal the first time you played Arsenal, remember, there was a quote afterwards, I believe it was Trent Alexander-Arnold, who said, you could see in their face, they just saw a sea of red, and they couldn't handle it. And that's exactly what happened. Every time we got the ball, we were marauded. And it was almost fun at that point for you guys. And had you guys treated the rest of those matches that way, you're fucking done. All right, now that Tom's yawning, let me get to Leeds United. And this is where I hope a lot of Leeds United fans aren't watching because they know how much I love them. You guys know how much I love Leeds United. That being said, what a season. What a fucking season. Do you all deserve to still be in the Premier League?
Probably not.
Football-wise?
The
No.
table says we do.
Football-wise, no. Burnley does not deserve to be in the Premier League for the past 6 seasons. But they have.
Watford.
Watford, I don't know
Home
where
form
the fuck
is
they are.
different.
This is the problem, though, with football.
No,
Sorry,
this is not
this
about
the
you
thing with
guys.
football.
This is still me.
Mm.
Let me fix. Thank you, John. Leeds United. You're the biggest club in the world that doesn't play like it. Or maybe plays too much like it. Because you guys play in a way that says, I own this shit. When you don't have the players or the skill or the talent base to make that happen. So you go out and you think that Leeds always play against any team like they are going to win that game 5-0. Something we love about y'all, but something that will get you relegated. So there needs to be a minute of minute amount of humility in your play and in your backroom staff that buys the right players and creates enough depth that you can last a Premier League season. And I think it's foolhardy that you came up into the Premier League and said, we're good. We got everybody we need. We'll buy these couple of players and we'll be good. And had you all invested correctly, you could have done better than your 9th place finish last season and actually vied, if not actually gotten a European spot. Leeds United, you let me down this season. This is 100% blah, blah, blah. But you need to stop making excuses, Leeds United. This is not you, Leeds United fans. This is Leeds United as a club. You are now in your 3rd year of Premier League football. Stop talking about the championship. Stop talking about, well, we fought so hard. Stop talking about all that. Marcelo Bielsa is gone, like it or not. Stop talking about that. Every Premier League club who stays in the Premier League moves on, and your superstars go. Calvin Phillips is going to go. Rafinha is going to go. If not this year, next year. These excuses of, well, and what I was hearing towards the end of the season of, the championship's a better league anyway. It's more competitive. You fight hard. Those are fucking excuses. Stop it and act like a Premier League club. And a Premier League club says goodbye to people and brings in new people. It sucks. It sucks, but it's true. That's my time.
It's Tom.
Shit on him, Mr. Tom. Shit on him.
This is the time.
Mr. Tom, bear in mind, Mr. Tom's been holding this back about Arsenal for weeks.
Please, Mr. Tom, give it. Give it. Give
Right,
it.
I'm gonna do both of you. That's what she said. Anyway,
You have to do us both, please.
The word is entitlement. The way Arsenal and Liverpool talk about Leeds and the rest of the league we exist solely to give you people to play so you can run your business. You don't respect sport. You don't respect the integrity of sport. You just think we are someone for you to play. And basically it's bollocks, because you've both had eras recently where you talk about finishing 8th as if like we talk about we were in League One. Seriously, lads, go fuck yourselves. Because all you do is sit there, we might not get in the Champions League this year, while we're sitting here worried about playing Luton. Fuck off.
He's fucked off.
Lolo, you only needed 60 seconds. You needed fucking 4 years to get that out.
Fuck off.
Jesus Christ, Tom. All of that, and I don't.
He's lost sound.
Tell him to fuck off, killed his internet.
It's you. You muted yourself.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, you muted yourself.
On the screen. All that time, 60 seconds.
You said I had 60 seconds, so I'll put it into 60 seconds.
No, you have all the time you want. We're at our
He
fucking 3.
annihilated the pair of you in 60 seconds.
No, I heard you. No, I heard that. Entitlement, whatever. But Mr. Tom, you talk about entitlement, but are we not entitled to that? We put in every the fact that finishing 5th for Arsenal, and you talk, oh, we wish we could be there. Well, we finished fucking 7th or whatever we finished last season. Are we not entitled to spending money and getting? We spent the money, and we are we not entitled to move forward?
You literally just said we had to earn our way into the Premier League, and we had to act like a Premier League club. But then you act like you should finish 4th just because you're Arsenal, and you should win the league just because you're Liverpool. But you didn't get the points. But we got the points to be in the Premier League. We didn't think we were going to have the points to stay in the Premier League, but we got them. But you thought you was going to have the points to get in the top 4, but you didn't. But you still talk like you should have.
I don't think we're entitled to. I don't think we're entitled to that. I don't think we're entitled to 4th place. I think it was achievable. Entitled, I think Arsenal, I do have some entitlement, and I do think Arsenal are entitled to be in the Premier League. A Premier League without Arsenal would be fucking weird. It would happen, and it would move on forward, and we would be left behind. The same way Leeds United were entitled to be in the Premier League, and then they weren't, and they thought they would come right back, and it wasn't. It was a whole child's. It was a whole child's childhood. A child went from newborn to a 16-year-old child before they saw.
Do you know what the disappointing thing is about this?
We got a Spurs fan here who's ready to talk some shit about all of our clubs. Tell me, Ben, but I'm gonna bring Rob on.
Yeah. The disappointing thing about this is we had to wait until hour 4 to have this discussion, and a lot of people that watch the runbacks aren't going to sit into hour 4. I'm being realistic there to miss. This was television gold.
No, this I'm going to clip off. This segment is fucking brilliant. Mr. Tom, I love everything that you said. All I'm saying is there is a little sense of entitlement. I mean, Chris, talking to you as well, like, do you not feel a little bit entitled to be in that big 4, big 5, big 6 conversation? Not Rob, because his team's terrible, but...
and he's a Red Sox fan.
What you're missing...
Oh, he's a Red Sox fan.
You're missing
he's going to be muted. Don't even talk. You're muted.
That's all right. I just came here to alleviate the stress so everybody can shit on Spurs.
But you're missing a massive factor, Lolo, right? Is that you've always been entitled.
Totally right.
You've always been entitled ever since the Premier League started, because there was a breakaway set of clubs, including Arsenal, Liverpool, Tottenham, Everton, that broke away from the Football League to basically held the rest of the league tyrant to create the Premier League. And ever since then, you have had that sense of entitlement, and you've had the favouritism from the league. You've had the big decisions.
And you know what, Ben? We weren't supposed to be in it. We weren't supposed to be in.
Oh, I met David Dean. And he did a speech on how the Premier League started, and he was Arsenal's chairman when the Premier League started. He was one of the major contributing factors of the Premier League starting, like the guy that rallied the other teams together. And
honestly,
originally they wanted 2 votes each, but the league only said no, everyone gets an equal vote. All 24 teams, I think it was originally, was it 24 teams?
22 eventually.
22 teams, and then it ended up at 20. So, but you've always, since minute 1, had an entitlement, or seem to have had an entitlement.
I recognize that. I recognize it. I just want you guys to know that I get what you're saying. I recognize that, and no counter argument. I'm just saying that.
What's the true difference between the Premier League and what was the old First Division? How much of a breakaway was it? Because the teams that would have been in the First Division.
Oh, no, right. Well,
no, there is differences.
The influx of foreign money became the influx of foreign players. So therefore, the difference between the league,
I don't know.
The difference between the Championship and Division 1 and the Premier League was nothing. Leeds United came up in 1989. They won it from the Championship, and in two seasons later, they won Division 1, the Premier League. The season before it turned to the Premier League, you had England players playing for Championship teams. There was not a lot of difference. It was competitive because it was English. The foreign money came, the foreign players came, the foreign managers, and eventually it's become what it is today. Cash.
I mean, I don't know nearly as well as you guys, but it seems like there was a lot more parity. And now you have the battle of the hedge funds versus like nation states funding these massive clubs.
Nation states and oil magnates.
You still had big clubs always at the top.
Well, yeah. But I'm just
In the
saying, like,
70s
now we're
and
talking
that,
like crazy
I mean,
money. Like,
there's
you
a
need,
reason.
like,
There's a
Jeff
reason
Bezos
Liverpool won God knows how many titles before it was the Premier League. I mean, Liverpool were the dominant team over time, but you had Man United had a period in the 50s, 60s, then Leeds had a period, and you've had winners here and there throughout. I mean, the Premier League. I mean, other than Blackburn Rovers, who bought a title, and Leicester City, who I don't think will be that won't happen for a long, long time, if ever. It's always been whoever's got the money. Arsenal had the money at one point. Man United had the money, but it pains me to say it. I think Fergie was a massive part of their success, and us selling them Eric Cantona, which is, but what he did.
I mean, they still have to do it on the day. You still have to win the game.
It's always been the same 6 teams, and then Man City came along. Why? Because they've got oil money.
Well, it's the same thing like Newcastle now.
Chelsea was very similar to Leeds.
Well, Newcastle will be in Europe next year. I'm telling you, by next season,
that they want to win the league.
I think maybe in 2 years.
Yeah, I think it's.
They'll be in Europe next year. I'm telling you.
I'm just saying, like,
what Newcastle do is they just add another one to the mix, so it's not your big 6, it's your big 7.
That's the thing I was thinking. It's like whoever. If Southampton
falls nicely to the extra place in Europe, what the Champions League will create.
Whatever team can get Jeff Bezos to buy them and invest the cash.
Done.
Leeds.
Done.
Leeds, buy us. I might write him a letter.
So, Rob, I don't want to throw you into the fire too much, but would you be ready to lay into each one of our teams if we gave you your 5 minutes?
Wait, can we lay into Spurs?
I mean, I don't have
or
that.
should we lay into Spurs first?
Fine, I can take it. I have no problem with that. I don't have anything that terrible to say about the clubs, honestly.
It's not terrible. It's more your assessment, unabated.
All right, I can do that. Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
The one I've been thinking about most is
Arsenal. One to start.
Arsenal, I like the competitiveness with Spurs. Like, I like that competition. So I feel that they're at a disadvantage right now because I do not see Kroenke Sports Entertainment investing the amount of money that they need to stay competitive right now. And I think it's going to hurt them in the long run. Liverpool, which I said in the chat earlier, I think a lot of their backbone players, they're on the wrong side of 30. And it's not going to be a problem maybe this year or next year, but it's going to be a problem. And I don't know how much the Fenway Group is going to invest in that. Leeds, I actually really like Leeds. I'm a Spurs fan. I'm not going to deny that at all, but I admire the passion. Like, obviously watching you guys on the channel, I dig that. I get that. I mean, I'm a Red Sox fan, like, not since they won the World Series. Like, I'm a glutton for punishment. So, all right, thanks, John. But the Rangers can go fuck themselves. That's fine.
No.
Anyways,
I might have an LA hat on, but it means Leeds America with the American connection. That's what
I'm not saying they need to have American
you can diss Leeds. I can handle you dissing Leeds, but you do not diss the Rangers while we're in the playoff.
I'm just saying I understand that sentiment of being down a long time, getting really close, and then finally it happens. I mean, honestly, same thing with the Patriots, and now everyone hates the Patriots. And I was there when everyone was shitting on the Patriots. The Patriots suck. They're getting clobbered by the Bills. Then all of a sudden, Tom Brady comes along, and everyone's like, "Oh, fuck the Patriots! They're cheating." Blah 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 blah. And I mean, I'm not going to get into all that stuff, but Stuff can change. It happens. So, yeah.
Sorry, I meant to shrink you down, and I muted you instead.
Oh, okay.
Just for the last 2 seconds. It was
Rob,
nothing.
I don't think you get the concept of a roast.
Yeah, Rob.
No,
Rob,
I'm
I
not-
was just about to tell you.
I don't have anything bad to say about the clubs. Honestly, I don't.
No,
I mean,
do you know?
just,
You're all great.
no, it's not that. I don't think you guys are all great.
These are supposed to end with us wanting to kill each other because I definitely want to kill all of them.
Yeah, well, sorry, man. That's not that person.
Other than Tottenham's jammy win against Leeds in Conte's first game, I've got no qualms with Tottenham's season. They did what they set out to do.
You know what?
My qualms are with their owner because their owner actually gave a fuck because I think he's as bad as Stan Kroenke, but pretends to look like he cares.
How is it that the Rams are the most valuable franchise in the NFL? Yeah,
because they were worth $0 when he got them. So
I don't know.
Because of where it is, surely.
If you watch the Amazon Spurs,
yeah, but why won't he put that money into Arsenal? Surely you'd think, right? Well, I want
because Arsenal's not in Hollywood.
Yeah, but it's in London, and that's
there is more money in Arsenal than there is in the Rams.
Like,
there could be.
If Daniel Levy got an NFL team in London, he would not give a shit about Spurs.
I often thought that the Kroenkes thought that Arsenal being a football team was an NFL team. I think he bought them thinking it was an NFL team.
They're like, what is this? Some sort of women's league? Sure, let's do it. That'll be the best. London, where's that? Kentucky?
I mean, I don't think
he is the monopoly guy.
Why does that accent sound like a 1930s news report?
Because he looks
because Tom, I'll tell you, the moment I turned this way, in my head, I had like a 5-second pause. You guys didn't see it. It was very fast. And I was like, all right, now we have to decide what we're going to say, and B, what accent we're going to do it from. Little did I know there were subsections BA, B, BC, and BD of which accent, but then where is he from, and what era is he from. And Mr. Tom, I nailed 1930s, and he was actually a flight attendant. Yeah.
All I heard was CBD.
I'm just telling you.
Yeah, all I heard was CBD. Oh yeah.
Can't you do if Sean Connery ran a football club?
Barcelona.
Back when I was managing Barcelona, I walked around the pitch and I said, "These guys don't walk for shite. You need to run faster, boy. If you don't run, you don't get there." I don't know what I'm talking about, Tom.
You could have talked about the Rafinha transfer, for God's sake.
The thing about Rafinha is he's got a lovely set of calves.
He's got better abs than his missus.
When he runs, his calves, they whisper sweet nothings.
Do you think he's staying or do you think he's going?
You know he is, right? I think it's the best time to sell him because after that walk after the game, his knees are fucked.
What about Calvin? You think Calvin stays a year?
Calvin stays. Yeah, he'll sign a new
which
deal.
Calvin are we talking about? Because they made us look up a Calvin earlier that killed a bunch of people.
Yeah. And the other, there was one who killed 3 people, and another Calvin Phillips who had 3 people killed, or he was part of 3 people killed. So I'm thinking one Calvin Phillips killed the other.
It's for Rob. Does Harry Kane stay this year?
Yeah, he's staying.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. None of us got to rant about Tottenham, though.
I just shit on Dan.
Just going to Harry Kane. I think the only place Harry Kane goes, if anywhere, is Man United. But then I think he picks Champions League over Man United. I think that's the only place left for him to go.
He's like last year was the year that he had to make a move, and it didn't happen.
there's no roast I can give Tottenham that would be any worse than the fact they have to wake up tomorrow morning and know that they are Tottenham.
What about Harry Kane
So-
to Barcelona?
I just don't see it happening. I mean, I think the fact that Conte was confirmed today that Conte is staying for 2 years, which, I mean, you know, it is what it is. But it's I see
007 on it.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
I play for growing up as a young boy in Barcelona. I learned
He
swapping.
hates Bond. He hated Bond.
May I ask who the day walker was in the background? There was a day
In
walker in the background there.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That guy in the middle
It's the guy off Red
hates
Dwarf.
him.
It's Cat off
He
Red
fucking
Dwarf.
hates him.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I actually scored a hat trick in my days.
I think we should caption that comments.
I mean, they're both Scottish, right? So then
We should start doing that. We should start just finding
caption
photos and
contest.
telling people to caption them, and then we'll put them on it. Hey, how about
Let's shit on
that
Wolves.
fucking public service announcement earlier today?
Oh,
That was awesome.
Genius, yeah. That was beautiful. Have we got it again?
I thought it was magical.
I thought it was magical. Did you see it, Rob?
Magical.
And now,
Effervescent.
A public
delicious.
service announcement from your friends on the stoop. Do you have an uncontrollable urge to scream out with joy? We're staying up! Do you respond to any question with?
Didn't spend the money.
Then you might have Lufs-Tourette syndrome. And what is Lufs-Tourette syndrome? Lufs-Tourette syndrome is when your entire existence revolves around Leeds United to the point that you couldn't give two fucks about anyone else is talking about if it doesn't pertain to Leeds United, leading to these types of outbursts. Bielsa would have kept us up. Marching on together. If it's not Leeds, fuck 'em. Champions of Europe. Shoes off if you hate Man U. Chelscombe. And the Cure? No, there's nothing wrong with you. You're just Leeds United. Just buy a mug. Order now on onthestupidlodo.com.
And if you own a mug, you too can put wrestlers in your mug.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go.
Tonight, hosted by the Nasty Boys.
This cup will hold both Nasty Boys.
I made the mistake of having, I have Paramount Plus, and so I was watching some game, and then an ad came on for WWF, and then my kids were like, "What is that?" I was like, "We're not diving down there. I know where that rabbit hole leads."
It leads to a lot of merchandise.
Yeah.
You know, I've been debating that myself, Rob. The other day I thought about it and I was like, when is the appropriate time to show my daughter wrestling?
Yeah. I mean, now it's equal. You know, you have the women out there that are like terrifying.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
Smacking the shit out of each other.
It's when she learns and then she wants to play wrestling with you, and then you get overzealous and you tombstone her off the settee onto the floor.
But here's the thing, like
I do the razor's edge to my daughter.
Yeah, you crash them down. Yeah.
Through the backbreaker. And
But here's the thing is,
Rest in peace, Scott Hall.
Yeah, rest in peace, Scott.
I
know in heart it was his anniversary recently.
But it becomes like a Santa
yo.
Claus thing, though, Rob, Chris, Tom, guys. It becomes a Santa Claus thing of when do I tell my daughter that this is fake?
Yeah,
And then she'll start thinking the soccer matches, the football matches that I'm watching are fake.
May I just add
They
to
are
the
after
Santa
Chelsea
Santa
versus
in the
Everton
same
a couple of
sentence.
weeks ago.
May I
Wait,
add
what,
the
John?
Santa Claus
What are you
theory?
on.
saying? Santa and fake in the same sentence?
No. It's the Santa Claus argument, the Santa Claus discussion. I did not
folklore myth
state
that's out
my
there that Santa
side.
Claus isn't real.
I did not
That
state
would imply
my.
Santa's not real.
John, I'm not going to lie to you
It's-
anymore.
It's a
Santa
philosophical
does not exist.
argument.
He's only not
That
real
I'm
if you don't
referencing.
keep the faith.
Right.
I'm only referencing an argument.
Which
That's
brings
why.
me to the point.
Wait a
right?
minute.
If I had
So-
children, I wouldn't lie to them. I'd say some fake fat man is not taking credit for me working all year and buying them presents.
No, he has slave.
Wait,
I
wait,
got you them presents.
Wait,
I
sorry.
gotta say, Ben. The other day, my daughter was like, "Oh, Santa brought me that," and I looked at her and was like, "I bought you that."
I hope little Naji
You're like,
is still watching.
shut the fuck up. No, he didn't. I remember I went to an additional store that day.
So you bought the big
Because-
salad.
I bought the big salad. I don't understand what's the problem with this.
To any children that may stumble across this, present time or future years, I am only joking. There is a
Your
Santa
mother's a whore, and your father wishes she was more of a whore. That's the key to life right there.
I had a good discussion with a group
Mr.
of friends
Tom's your
one
real
time
dad.
Yeah. It was biblical though, and they delved into how the Virgin Mary.
So you don't hate him that
Anyway, we are now at 3.5 hours, which is usually the time we cut off the show. So, guys, why don't we take this backstage? We can hang out and talk as much as we want. But I think I'm starting to get to the point where maybe the rest of what's said doesn't need to be broadcasted.
No.
So if you want to join us, the link is in the comments section. So no complaints there.
Yeah, I still want to
But,
have a job on Monday. So let's
You are.
Who? Me?
Where's
I have
the
a job
link?
interview? That
The
would
The
be
link's,
awesome.
the link's up there somewhere in the
Cut off.
comments. You have to repost
cut
it.
off the public feed.
Yeah, get off the public feed. Let's go. But thank you guys so much. Thank you, Mr. Tom, Ben. You guys were with me
No,
all
thank
night.
you. Thank you, Stoop Crew.
Love
Stoop.
it. Chris,
That's what he
Rob,
said.
good to see you. And Rob, I would love for you to be on here more.
If I
If you
didn't
only-
have as many, if I wasn't so good at what I did and have so many
Which
kids,
is-
Rob,
then
is having babies.
Rob was a lot younger than I thought he was.
I'm not that young.
No. He's a lot older than you think he is.
Yeah, I just age
Alright.
well. I'm like a fine
Oh,
wine.
cool, man. Cool.
He is 87 years old. He's just
Is
like,
he in Highlander?
yeah, well, that's why he has 48 kids. He's gonna,
Yeah.
and there can be only one. Good night, everybody. We love
Night,
you.
everyone.
We're going to end this stream. If you guys want to join us backstage, feel free to click the link and you can go there. But we have max 10 people, so you better do it quick. Bondi, love you. Join us.
Final
We spent
word.
the money.
We're staying up.
West Anal. Yeah,
West
let's all.
Anal.
West Anal.
West
What are you
Anal.
talking?
We're staying up.
Oh, okay.
We're staying up.
Good night, everybody. Love you. John, close us out.